Alright, let's do another one. Yeah, let's just blind click this again. Okay, it's gonna be a Snecko Eye run. Okay, Snecko Eye is gonna have a very different feeling. Snecko Eye is like, we're on survival mode from the very beginning of Act 1. Because our deck is terrible with Snecko Eye. Playing 2 cards a turn is worse than playing 3 cards a turn. And these cards are real bad. So, playing 2 of them is not good. I think our best case scenario is we fight no elites. We like go to a late store and buy like a meteor strike, right, and use that to kill slime boss. Could it be the boss relic swap every day could be impacting your win-loss ratio? I mean, certainly, yeah. I mean, everything you do as part of your strategy impacts your win-loss ratio. I'm not sure what you're implying. It seems like you're probably saying that boss relic swaps are bad. I don't know. So there's a 3 fire path here. That gets us a bunch of stuff. There's also a 3 fire path here with an elite in it. Someone 25, what's your favorite Niao option on defect? What's the best possible? No, boss relic swaps are great on defect. I mean, we got a Snecko. Snecko Eye is amazing. Why are people choosing this moment to say that boss relic swaps are not good? This is like an amazing boss relic swap. We get to spend the whole run building around Snecko Eye. Probably the rare relic and minus max HP. Yeah, I mean that's one of the strongest sort of high variance Nao options. I agree with that. But like, defect starting relic is I would say definitely the worst one. Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, it's definitely the pattern. Watcher gives you an extra energy. Defect gives you 8 damage. I'd rather have an extra energy in Act 3. Also, like, Watcher can do some silly stuff with like Apotheosis can upgrade it, and you can use it on any turn. Sometimes hand size matters for Watcher. It's not great. Watcher is I think Watcher and Defect are definitely battling it out for the worst, but I think after 3 fights and a shop, we can probably handle an elite. So we'll try to do 1 elite here. Okay. Do we split both and take 6, or do we block and take 1? I think we split both. I think if we hang out in this fight too long, we will get shown the door. Okay. I'd rather have a Mercury Hourglass than 1 energy once in early acts. Yeah, sure. That's true in early acts. But it's not true in later acts. 3 energy does not scale, or 3 damage does not scale. 1 energy does. Streamline seems like a Snecko Eye card. Sure. 15 damage. Okay. Zap or Strike. It's definitely Zap, right? Great. Everything costs 0. Just play it all. Smoke Bomb. It's nice. Early X do matter, sure. Watcher scales so hard, it's hard to imagine not picking the option that makes you immediately stronger. I don't really understand what you mean. You saying because Watcher scales strong, you want to optimize for right now, but doesn't that mean, isn't that the opposite of the truth? Like, since Watcher is so strong in Act 1, don't you want to pick stuff that makes you better in Act 4? Yeah, Recycle Snecko is actually exactly what I was going to talk about. Recycle Snecko is pretty powerful. There's pretty much always something in your hand that costs more than Recycle. And it gets you down to a better, smaller deck. The problem is it doesn't advance us toward any win condition, and we still have to fight, like, Gremlin Knob, potentially. I guess we have Smoke Bomb now, though. So we can kind of just be like, nope, we're not fighting Gremlin Knob. So I think I'll take Recycle. Voluntary fight or 2 question marks? If we take 2 question marks, potentially this is still an easy pool fight. If we never see any fights in question marks. We're more or less just planning on smoke bombing this Gremlin Knob here at this point. So I think we take question marks to try and find money for the shop. Okay. It's pretty nice. Alright, it is a fight, so whatever. Let's recycle a defend to get some extra damage. Okay. We don't have lethal. You think the life coach talked about it once? With Watcher, you can snowball really hard by surviving early acts. Right. I feel like we're agreeing with each other, but our words are claiming that we're disagreeing. I don't know what the issue is here. Is your position still that that Watcher's starting relic is better than defects? Or is worse than defects, rather? Because, like, the 1 energy is way better in Act 4 than 8 damage is in Act 4, right? Are you proving my point now? I'm confused. Cold Snap is card, does damage. Go for the Eyes is probably unpickable with a Snecko Eye, although I do like weakening people. Frost Orbs are good. I wish this was a Glacier, obviously. Glacier's super busted. With Snecko Eye. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so, okay, if you have an argument against boss swaps on defect, please present it, because you're talking about, like, Watcher, and I don't know what your point is. I guess you were objecting to the original statement that defect has the worst starting relic. So if you want to state your opposition to that as well, that would be fine. Yeah, let's do Cold Snap, sure. I think Cold Snap is better than Skip here. Pretty unlikely to be able to trigger Panache. I guess we also can't afford it. Hey, if you replace your relic with a boss relic, can you get an advanced starter relic? No, you cannot. In fact, for some classes, that's part of the reason to do it. Because you do a boss relic swap, you remove that one from the pool. And especially for Ironclad, Black Blood is, like, quite bad compared to other boss relics. So removing it from the pool is, like, a big reason to do the swap. For defect, actually, like, Frozen Core is pretty reasonable, and for Watcher especially, the Watcher boss relic is actually pretty outstanding. Going from 1 energy at the beginning of a fight to 3 energy at the beginning of a fight is a huge difference. So one of the best arguments against boss relic swapping as Watcher, although I do think boss relic swapping is a good idea as Watcher, is the upgraded boss relic, because it's pretty insane. But also the silent upgraded boss relic is terrible. Ring of the Snake versus Ring of the Serpent. What are we doing here? I want to buy the attack pot, but my potions are full, so I can't do that. I guess we could buy a Rip and Tear. It's on sale. Card remove is super good with Snecko Eye. Get rid of these nasty little strakes. So just like card remove, Rip and Tear. What do we think about Snecko Eye Blizzard? I think Blizzard is usually bad. We have Cold Snap now. Snecko Eye highly wants us to pick Glacier. Like, Glacier is absolutely busted on Snecko Eye. I don't know. I don't think speculative Glacier is a good enough reason to pick Blizzard. Okay, so I'll do Rip and Tear card remove. And is it a strike or defend? Unclear. Could even be Zap. Although I guess if we're going to remove Zap, we should remove Dual Cast first. Oh no, Dual Cast has Cold Snap as a target. Nah, let's just do Defend. Oops, crap. Restoring the floor. I don't know how I ended up clicking on that. I was just like, I'll take an upgrade. Recalls. Rip and Tear is pretty clearly the best upgrade, right? 18 damage, big upgrade over 14. Technically, I guess Streamline gets the same value and is targeted, so maybe we should do Streamline. Okay. Sold. Alright, Smoke Bomb at the ready here. I don't want to take any damage. I think we're probably planning on using the Essence of Darkness to kill Slime Boss. So I guess we just like double defend here. Offered 2 Meteor Strikes in Act 1. Yeah, that's the dream right there. Getting a Meteor Strike. It's a good feeling. Nope. We didn't get there. Alright, let's upgrade that Rip and Tear. Alright, we should be strong enough to actually fight things now. Mob Bank versus Blue Key. A lot of time for Mob Bank to pay off, sure. A way to get a relic that does not involve fighting. Sign me up. Oh, yeah. Incense Burner for 11 health? Absolutely. A Voluntary Elite. Or a Curse. Yeah, it used to be, yeah, Snecko used to not trigger, the confusion before bottles, I think it was. If you had, like, a bottle before Snecko Eye, I think was the bug. Then you'd get the bottle cards, and then you'd get confused. Alright, let's fight him. Is this a stupid decision that kills me? Probably not. All depends on Snecko Eye. Alright. Double defend strike, I guess. Not amazing. Streamline Strike ends this guy. Seems great. Guess I'll recycle this defend so I don't have to redraw it. And try and get lethal. Sweet. Okay, so we ended up picking like 8 there. Definitely worth it for the odd mushroom. So we lost like 19 health for 2 premium relics there. That's really nice. Are we willing to pay 1.5 for a random power? Doesn't really seem like it's in our wheelhouse here. Could do it. Could get some focus that way. Sometimes you get like an echo form or something busted. Creative AI. I'd rather just add that card to the deck, though. I don't like if we have like I don't know if we had like a heat sinks or something. I'd pick a white noise, but I don't. So I don't think I want to just add a random power. We're not fighting Nub. We're done fighting elites. Unless you're talking about Act 2 Nub. Okay. Cold Snap. Carter move? Seems pretty reasonable. We already removed a defend. Do we remove a strike or a defend now? We haven't found any good defensive tools. I'm gonna go ahead and remove a strike. I think we should be good on damage. The Streamline Plus, Rip and Tear Plus. That may not be true. We have to set up Incense Burner on 3 for Slime Boss. And that means we need to hang out in this next hallway fight for a while, so I think we might need the defense for it, so I'll remove a strike. It's 3, right? Because on turn 1, he slimes, and then he prepares, and then he attacks, right? Yeah, so you want it on 3. We got 3 0-cost defends, sweet. A free zap and a free dual cast, so I guess I'll do that too. I'm going to choose between Cold Snap and Rip and Tear. Cold Snap helps us block out. Rip and Tear might end the fight too early. It looks like, unfortunately, we might not be able to set it up. He might run. Yeah, we need him to attack on the 3rd turn. So let's Cold Snap so that we can block in the future. Let's go ahead and just recycle a strike. I want to put him high enough that I can still Cold Snap next turn. Cold Snap double defend is our plan for blocking out, or potentially like Cold Snap dual cast. So that does 9, so he's at like 14, so I'll double strike him. Would you rather Rip or Tear? An interesting question. Philosophers have debated that for years. Dang it. So he's running next turn, so Incense Burner is going to be on 2. Or 1. We get to choose. I guess if we put it on 2, then maybe it's on the first large slime attack turn. Yeah, I think 2 is better than 1. I agree. Alright, so I think we strike Zap to set up most damage for next turn without killing him. And we'll dual cast in case we redraw dual cast so that we can dual cast the Lightning Orb. Just to make sure we get a kill. Okay. Hyper Beam? What are you doing here? Okay. Let's upgrade Hyper Beam. So if we Hyper Beam on 1, we're kind of ruining our Essence of Darkness plan. But we also get to play Hyper Beam on turn 1. Thanks for the follow, Sylvana Alex. Or Sylvan Alex is probably how you want that pronounced. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the Vegetable Patch. I mean, there's no way it's not reprogram strike, right? Do 40 damage off the bat. I never could play this class and win. It's a tough one. The game's hard. Yeah, let's just do that and drink the regen pot. Do we need the regen pot? Maybe we could try to save both for Act 2. Are we splitting him? We're probably going to play Rip and Tear and Streamline next turn. So it's like 18, 38 damage. Seems like we're splitting him before he attacks. I think I'm going to try to save both. Let's go ahead and recycle a defend. Oh crap, that's too much damage. Rats. So that would split him right now, which I think is a little too early. Yeah, we did Silent All last month. Did pretty well. We could just split now. It's kind of a weak split. 72. We could also just, like, Essence of Darkness dual cast. I think that does, like, 12 damage, right? Because they start at 6. So he'd go to 70. Or 80, rather, and then we could split next turn. I'm gonna do that. We don't need to save this potion. Do you have Ascension 20 on everything? Yeah. Yeah, I've been playing only Ascension 20 on stream. Okay, so this is great. So we've got the Incense Burner set up for the large slimes next turn. And Coconut's upset at us, which is ideal. You really want to get your Angry Cat in on the mix. Okay, reasonable split. Into a unreasonably good Hyper Beam. Okay, GG. There's a Meteor Strike. I almost never pick any card over Seek, but I'm definitely going to pick Meteor Strike over Seek here. Yeah, I did try to think about... I did think about not putting burner on 0, but it was too fun to just like kaplow, destroy everything. I didn't want to deal with the medium slimes punching me in the face. So let's take a Meteor Strike. Snecko-Eye Meteor Strike seems good. Choker's the only way to get energy here. Are we okay with being choked? Hey, stop it. What you're doing is loud, and I don't like it. Is Fission good? Yes, Fission is good, but it needs an upgrade really badly. The upgrade makes it so it evokes the orbs rather than removing them. Fission is particularly good for trying to, like, set up combos. So, like, you can draw 5 cards, get 5 energy, and do your big crazy combo turn, whatever that happens to be. What are you mad about, Coconut? What's going on here? Choker helps us play more cards per turn, but it does stop us from doing infinites. Probably not going to be doing an infinite with Snecko-Eye, but for the purpose of completeness, let's talk about what the infinite would be. So the maximum cost of a Meteor Strike is 3, and the value of the Plasma Orbs is 6 energy. So even if Snecko-Eye does the worst possible thing, we can do double Meteor Strike with like Cool Head Plus, and that's an infinite. Meteor Strike and 2 Cool Head Pluses is an infinite, even with worst case Snecko. Right? Hold on. Does Snecko plus Meteor care about an energy relic much? Yeah, it does. Any Snecko-Eye deck like cares a lot about having extra energy, because being able to play like with Snecko-Eye, you're frequently drawing more cards than you can play, right? And if you get extra energy, you get to play an additional card, which can be really huge. Pretty trim deck. We took a bunch of removes and we got to recycle. So definitely, like, infinites are on the table here. Even with Snecko-Eye. We could take Empty Cage and get even smaller. I mean, Empty Cage gets us, like, Hyper Beam and Meteor Strike. Just remove a couple of strikes and Hyper Beam people on one. It's a 15-card deck. We take it down to a 13-card deck. So we draw guaranteed every card in the deck by turn 2. It's not bad. The punishment for the bell is pretty low here, because we have Snecko-Eye, so we draw 7 cards a turn, so having a curse be one of those cards is not that big of a deal. As I just mentioned, we have a pretty small deck, so the curse is a large portion of the deck. Don't Hyper Beam and Meteor Strike have anti-synergy? No, not at all. Plasma doesn't care about focus. They have great synergy. We do not need to find a way to block. We kind of have the same problem we had last time, where it's like, we have Hyper Beam, so Frost Orbs won't block. Yeah, Plasma just does what it does. No focus required. Yeah. I mean, if you have focus, it's not like you get extra energy from Plasma either, right? It's not like defrag gets you 4 energy Plasma turns. Does every deck have the possibility of infinite combos? No. I mean, does every class? Yeah, definitely every class does. Yeah, so just to go through them briefly, the primary infinite combo for Ironclad is Dropkick, so you can get into Dropkick loops. The primary infinite combos for Silent are like Acrobatics Tactician based. A lot of like prepared plus or reflex can get in there too. Defect has gobs of infinites from like my favorite being Madness double hologram, double Madness double hologram. With Snecko Eye, we can just pick a bunch of holograms and wait, and eventually it'll happen. And then Watcher has Rushdown infinites. But also, like, every class has access to like double finesse infinite, right? That's a colorless card, so just you can exhaust the deck down or get rid of the reduce your deck size and then do that. Doesn't that clock boss wreck infinites? Kinda. You definitely can't play an infinite number of cards a turn against him. You can only play 12 cards. But we had an infinite deck yesterday that beat Time Eater. Certainly wouldn't be a problem for this deck because we have Meteor Strike, right? Meteor Strike is just card efficient enough to just kill Time Eater. Yeah, all classes also have Sundial infinites. Yeah. Snecko effect is triggered on draw, so Madness does not override it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm talking about normally Madness and Hologram works, but obviously with Snecko Eye. I mean, technically it still does work, but you'd have to get the whole combo in the hand at once and then play it all. It's not exactly a one-turn benefit. It's just that both Madness and Snecko Eye have the same like permanent cost changing effect. So whatever the most recent one is decides. But if you use a hologram and then you trigger orange pellets or something, right? The Madness will last forever. Do you like Vegetablebreads? Zucchini's my favorite. I do. I have one vegetable bread in particular is special to me, and that's myself. That's me. I think Choker is pretty appropriate here. I mean, there's honestly arguments for all of these. Like, Calling Bell gives us the most power, and we don't care about the curse that much. Empty Cage gives us a really high density of Meteor Strikes, so we get to play Meteor Strikes on turn 1 more frequently. But I think Choker is pretty nice to have extra energy. I don't think we're going for an infinite, so... And we're not currently in a position where we're getting choked. Makes us strong right now. What is the risk of going for an infinite? Typically, going for an infinite requires a lot of deck building compromises. So most infinites require you to have like a very small number of cards in your deck. Most of them involve shuffling in the middle of the infinite. Shuffling and getting like a specific set of cards. So you often end up skipping cards and making compromises so that you can get more card removes that you wouldn't otherwise do, and sometimes those can get you killed. Yeah, the heart statuses, that's a concern. Seems like we can fight elites now because we have a Hyper Beam plus and it's Act 2. So let's go do that. We successfully survived Act 1 and I think got strong enough. So going up the middle, fights 3 elites. We can't get any more than 3 elites. And we could go here, but that just skips a fire, so there's no reason to do that. Hyper Beam! And then let's recycle this expensive strike, so we've got the energy for bonking some noobs. This guy's pretty afraid. He's like, what just happened? You can do what? Yes, we can. Maybe we should have thought about Instance Burner more, but it was fun to just bonk him. Compile driver card draw is pretty good with Snecko Eye. Draw extra cards that have random costs. It doesn't seem like we really have much to activate compile driver. We do technically have 3 orb types, but it seems like Meteor Strike's going to be stomping on the other 2 pretty quickly here. I think we're going to not care much about Lightning or Frost Orbs in the immediate future, given the Hyper Beam. None of these are really solving the problem that we have, which is we don't have any way to block. Bullseye does say plus on it though, so does Barrage. I think we just skip. Attack Bot versus Forge Bot? I think we probably do take the Attack Bot. Okay. This one. And this one. Let's go ahead and recycle that dual cast, that's not doing anything. And put the lightning orb in front, because we don't have very much focus anymore. Okay, we get to kill somebody. Looks like it's gonna be you. Sweet. Okay. I keep not thinking about Incense Burner and need to think about Incense Burner more. Recursion with Plasma Orbs is pretty good. So Recursion is unfortunately upgraded. Unupgraded would be better, because then we could Forge Pot to reduce the cost while it's in hand. Why is it in some chats I can respond to other messages? Is that something enabled or disabled per streamer? Are you saying you can't @ people? Or you can't... I think it might be something that Twitch is experimenting with. But I'm not aware of having disabled it. Maybe I have not enabled it. Maybe it's because I'm not a partner? I don't know. Core Surge is good. Core Surge blocks our focus down from Hyper Beam. Defrag helps our Cold Snap and Zap. Seems like that's not really the point of what we're doing. Oops, I've messed everything up now. I tried to click to reply. And I pulled up something wrong. Something bad. Yeah, it's hard to imagine Core Surge not being good. But is it good? Core Surge could block like vulnerable or netted or weak in the Slaver fight. Could block Fat Gremlin statuses. It also just like does 11 damage. Bias Cog. Yeah, the Hyper Beam focus down there I already mentioned. Heart vulnerable. A lot of good debuffs for Core Surge to hit. Sure. Right? It just does damage and blocks debuffs. We don't have to be doing anything like super specific, right? And we want to go left here. Wait, we can go either direction to get an elite, so do we want this shop? Oh wait, no, double shop is bad, right? We don't want double shop. Relic for Rive? Rive is not that bad with Snecko Eye. Relics are nice. I kind of want that turn 1 Hyper Beam, though. Every card I add decreases the chance of Hyper Beam. Innate cards doubly so. But we could remove it. Nah. Okay, let's rip and tear first to see what the target is. Alright, our choice. Choose Centurion. Hyper beam. Okay, we have actually choked ourselves a couple of times here. Hasn't prevented us from playing a card yet, but it will at some point. This is actually not lethal. Weirdly. Continuing to not think about Incense Burner. That's very frustrating. I need to be doing that. Do we take a Recursion minus? Don't you always go for Centurion first? Yeah, you pretty much do. If the Rip and Tear had double hit Mystic, I would have thought about it, but I probably would have gone for Centurion anyway. Heat Sinks can help us draw our Meteor Strike. There's an infinite that we could do that's Heat Sinks, dual wield Meteor Strike, right? Because then the Meteor Strike redraw, or the power from the dual wield redraws us the Meteor Strike and the dual wield. We'd have to find a dual wield, which is an Ironclad card, so a little tricky to get that one to go, but seems weird. We don't have any powers currently, so seems unnecessary. Yeah, we just skip. Liquid Memories versus Attack Pot. Seems like Liquid Memories is pretty good. Okay. Library. What are we looking for? Second Meteor Strike, more card draw. Bias Cog. Okay. I mean, it's usually read, right? So let's read. Reprogram? Consume? I don't know. Another recycle? Reinforced Body is pretty good. Nothing crazy here, right? No Echo Forms. Doom and Gloom's okay. Kind of overlaps with Hyper Beam, though. Not sure that's super necessary. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's Force Field. Force Field just blocks for a lot. Do like Reinforced Body, though. I think it's probably one of those two. I think it's probably Force Field or Reinforced Body. Get some big old block cards. Reinforced Body is really nice. Any X cost is nice with Snecko Eye, because it consistently does the thing that it does. So you just get the card draw effect from Snecko Eye, but you don't get the randomization effect. And Reinforced Body is just good from the get-go. But Force Field is also, like, specifically good with Snecko Eye, because it can cost, like, 0, and that's just silly for Force Field to cost 0. I think I like Force Field better than Reinforced Body. Plus, Force Field, if it costs, like, 2 while it's in hand, and then you play 2 powers, it will cost 0. Unfortunately, it's not like, if you play 3 powers anytime in the fight, Force Field always costs 0. But... okay. Seems pretty busted. See a Meteor Strike. I play a Meteor Strike. Do we Liquid Memories the Force Field? I don't know, I think we just take 12. Maybe we drink the regen pot now. Yeah, let's just drink the regen pot. Okay. This is free, this is free. These we can easily afford. Liquid Memories again, worth 11 health here. If we go get Force Field. I guess that's okay, sure. Give the Neon achievement, I sure do. I have every achievement. It's one of the few games I've 100%ed. I think it's pretty much just like this and Into the Breach. 100%ed Into the Breach as well. 18 plus 6, not quite enough. We don't have enough energy to do both. So I guess we do Defend Strike? No, surely not. We just Force Field then, right? Get lethal next turn. Sort of an awkward instance burner setup. Doesn't seem like there's much we can do about it. I guess we can just block next turn, as long as we're guaranteed lethal. Yeah, we are guaranteed lethal. Okay. Also gets us 2 health. All right. Rebound? How do you get the only 3 cards one? Only 3 cards? Is that what it is? I thought it was like only 5 cards or something. What is that achievement? For a lot of them, you just can't do it on Ascension 20. You have to do it on a lower Ascension. The hardest one was You Are Nothing, because I did that one on Ascension 20. Took some time. Who Needs Relics is super irritating, because you just have to skip every relic. Oh, Minimalist, yeah. So I think with Minimalist you can exhaust cards. You don't have to have a starting deck size. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't remember how I got that one. It's 5 cards in deck. Okay, yeah. I guess you just have to exhaust really aggressively. I'm pretty sure I did that one on non-Ascension, or Ascension 1 or something. I think we just skip here. These don't seem like mega powerhouse cards, and these do, so. Smith the Meteor Strike or the Force Field. 4 extra block or 6 extra damage. Seems like we need the block more than the damage. The damage comes. Augmenter again. Seen this one. I think this time we are going to do the transforms. We're going to transform 2 strikes. Hopefully get some more expensive stuff. Could take mutagen still. We probably don't want to, we don't want to block debuffs. We don't want pellets in this run, is what I'm saying. So we don't get extra value from the strength. We won't get to keep it. Those are some really terrible transforms. Those are worse than strikes most of the time. Go for the eyes can be better, but amplify is almost certainly worse. Drat. You said IIF the first time, and that's the jargon for if and only if, sort of like the logically unambiguous form of if. Do you always go for the heart at the end? Yeah, I do. The game considers it a win if you beat the Act 3 bosses, but I like going for the heart. Question card gets us more like rares and meteor strikes and stuff. Seems like we want that. More elites. Sweet. Actually, I'm going to Cold Snap Meteor Strike first, and then Hyper Beam so that we get extra block. So it says 34, this says 24, so that together is 58. So that, I guess, kills Taskmaster? Taskmaster does the least damage, though, so I think we just don't care, and we just Meteor Strike on Red Slaver. So we're just overkilling him by 8, and that's fine. I guess we play this Zap, too. Because we want to play it before the Hyper Beam. Or evoke it before the Hyper Beam. Darn. Okay. Let's see if Rip and Tear can kill Blue Slaver. Nope. Alright, doesn't really matter which one we target. I guess we missed 3 damage there. We could have dual casted and something. Whatever. Never thinking about Incense Burner is apparently like just that's how it's going to be now. Scrape is weird with Snecko Eye. Let's see, how does this work? I've known how this works in the past. I feel like the Scrape Snecko Eye interaction is something that I learn every time I see these 2 cards interact, and I'm like, oh, that's weird, and then I forget immediately how it works. It probably is Equilibrium here. I want to think about how Scrape works first. So like, I think you draw the card, you randomize the cost, and if the new randomized cost is 0, then you keep it. I believe is how Scrape works. So Scrape with Snecko Eye on average draws 1 card, regardless of your deck. Okay, so Equilibrium has a lot of block, has a high cost. That seems like it would be a good Snecko Eye card. The actual effect of the card is not amazing with Snecko Eye, because frequently you end up retaining expensive cards in your hand, cards that had bad Snecko Eye costs. So Equilibrium, not awesome, but it's okay. Scrape with Choker is bad. I mean, not really. We're not getting choked like that frequently. Scrape just like draws a card. It's not amazing, but it's not bad either. I do think we need the block though, so I'm going to take the Equilibrium. It will probably block draws. But I think we're willing to pay that cost. And we want an extra fire, so let's go left. Here's the fight that killed us last time. Seems like we're a little bit more prepared for it this time. Just a little bit. Go for the Eyes. Equilibrium blocks for the most. The I thought this was a forge pot for a second. I was like, we could upgrade our cards, but no, that doesn't work. Okay. And we'll play Amplify so that we draw an extra card next turn. 21 damage coming in. If we Essence of Steel, we block 4 of it and lose 1 charge, so we probably block for 7 total. It's not a super valuable potion. I'll just drink it. Let's go ahead and Meteor Strike this nerd. And then Streamline. We're just trying to get him down to 34. Let's give this extra energy so that we can play more stuff. Not what I was looking for. Okay. So ideally we leave him alive for burner. So we like Hyper Beam Force Field. Yeah, we can Force Field Equilibrium to block out this turn. Or actually just Force Field does it, but I'll Equilibrium 2? No. Yeah, I have guaranteed lethal even if we don't keep Core Search. Can we block for 16? We can't. Okay. Turbo Plus. It's a pickable card. Snecko Eye. Charge Battery's a bit of block. I think we probably got the block sorted for the moment. Equilibrium and Force Field are both quite strong. Do we need a turbo though? I feel like we often have like 7 energy. Having a 0 energy Meteor Strike keeps happening. Seems like turbo might just kind of get in the way. Yeah, I think I'm gonna skip. None of these are like big Snecko Eye power outliers, so. Upgrade Equilibrium is nice. Get 3 extra block for a card that gets played quite a bit. Upgrade Meteor Strike is cool too. Capacitor is similar in terms of effect though. Not sure what you mean by that. Can hold extra plasma. I mean, I guess technically, yeah. I don't think the value of holding extra plasma is very high. The marginal value of going from a 7 energy deck to a 10 energy deck is like pretty low with Choker. Mostly matters if we can find an X-cost card. Go for the Eyes could get an upgrade. I could see that. Not like a... It's not a classic Snecko Eye card, but it is in the deck already. Amplify's upgrade is so wild. I can't believe that's Amplify's upgrade. Why doesn't it just cost 0 when you upgrade it? I never know how to use X-cost cards because I feel like I lose a lot of my turn. But they do the thing that you want to do on your turn. Only some X-cost cards are good, like Whirlwind and Reinforced Body. Sometimes Tempest. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Does the upgrade have to be consistent? I don't think it does. I mean, it is consistent, but that seems unnecessary. Like it's a thematic link between the cards. It's not a mechanical link. They're technically different cards, so. I don't know. Meteor Strike gets played every time I see it, and 6 extra damage, so might as well. Okay. We can get rid of Amplify. Hooray. Vulnerable Pop? We're pretty afraid of Book of Stabbing. He did some damage to us last time. Be nice to save for Collector, though. Yeah, we did transform into Amplify. Both Amplify and, whatchamacallit, Go for the Eyes were transformed. And really bad ones at that, but, you know, whatever. So if we Vulnerable Pot right now, we get an extra 14 extra damage. It's definitely going to buy us like at least a turn. We want Instant Sprinter on 4 for Collector. It looks like that's not going to be possible to set up in this fight. I think I am going to Fear Pop. I'm a glugger. I like to drink potions. So this blocks out. And we can play the Strike. Hold the Rip and Tear for next turn. Hold the Defend too, just in case. I guess holding the Defend also means it doesn't shuffle, which is nice. Okay. So we're setting it up on 5 for the next hallway fight. Seems fine. Coolhead Plus is pretty nice. Draw 2 cards. Get a Frost Orb. Could take Storm. We have an Amplify, so Storm could end up paying off for quite a few. Quite a few Lightning Orbs. We currently have no powers, though. Having your first power be Storm is pretty weird decision. Coolheaded's a little suspect too, because we usually want to play Hyper Beam in a fight, and we kind of have non-focus block. Seems to be the idea. So I think we just skip here. Another option for Scrape. This time it's not up against anything good. Last time it was up against Equilibrium. I guess maybe we should take a Scrape. It's just like it's a Pommel Strike, right? It's a 7 damage Pommel Strike. Just draws 1 card. Yeah, we don't want Scrape. Okay, alright. I mean, it does draw a 0 cost card. It draws a card and sets its cost to 0, which is not what Pommel Strike does, so I guess that's fairly good. Excuse me, question mark or fight? If we do question mark, we'll be set up on Collector on 5, which is not what we want, because she always summons on 1. If we do a fight, we don't have any, like, meta-scaling in particular. This Act 1 Maw Bank, it looks like it's gonna last all the way to Act 3, and we have to go get our green key in Act 3, so we might actually like not be able to get to a shop in Act 3. We might have a first relic Maw Bank that goes all the way to Act 4. Like a 50 floor Maw Bank. Okay. Or we could look for a shop right now with the question mark. I think that's one of the strongest arguments for question mark here is could be a shop. We're kind of cruising though. We don't really need a shop. I think we're fine against collector. So I'll just try and set up Incense Burner. How many question marks do we see? Good question. 1, 2, 3. So 3. So this would be what? 12% chance? Is it? Not super high. Was it 9%? Wait. But it counts itself, right? So are you saying 3 times 3? Because that's wrong. It'd be 4 times 3. It's the 4th question mark. You'll probably forget to set burner anyway. Yeah, fair enough. I was like taking question marks at the beginning of the game to know if I'm getting screwed. I don't think that's the right question mark strategy. Zero glacier. You should take question marks in Act 1 generally, but it's more because you care about the easy pool manipulation. The Act 1 question marks actually like aren't super impactful generally. There's a couple of them that give you relics. Those are the best ones. Yeah, okay, so we're opening some eyes today. So today's the day you get to learn about a hidden mechanic in Slay the Spire called the Easy Pool. The first 3 fights in Act 1 are easier than the rest of the fights in Act 1. So the first fights in Act 1 are things like Jawworm and 2 Louses and 2 Slimes or something. Whereas the hard pool fights have things in it like Gang of Gremlins and Gang of Slimes that are way harder. And like Large Slime and Blue Slaver and stuff. So you want to really you want to do exactly 3 fights in Act 1 before your first elite, ideally. And then you want to do an elite, and that gets you a relic, and now you're kind of strong enough to start fighting the hard pool fights. Let's try and set burner here. Uh-oh. Snecko. Wait, we're already... What am I worried about? It's actually like a super important mechanic, so it's kind of crazy that it's not messaged at all through the client. It's weird that we have Snecko Eye, and our opponent is Snecko, and we have a Go for the Eyes in our hand. It's like so much Snecko Eye action in this hand. Yeah, I do love telling people about the easy pool because it's like it's such an important Slay the Spire mechanic. And if you don't know about it, it'll destroy your runs, right? Your win percent goes up by like 20% if you're manipulating the Act 1 easy pool successfully. It's like a massive massive change. The potion shop chance thing is a little bit more subtle, but that does matter as well. Maybe Equilibrium, trying to save some cards, and then put Frost Orb in front, Lightning Orb behind it, and we want to get rid of at least one more card. We could either play or recycle Go for the Eyes. I kind of don't have an opinion. I think I'm going to play it. Does 3 damage. So we'll talk about the oh, okay, great. Someone 25's got the potion drop thing. It's a pretty reasonable explanation. I endorse this explanation. I think if you're a Snecko Eye deck, Snecko should unconfuse you. I think if you get 2 stacks of confusion, it should wear off. The shop chance is sort of related, but it's different. It's 3% per question mark. So each question mark that you see that isn't a shop increases the chance that the next one is a shop by 3%. And then there's a couple of different percentages like that. There's shop is 3%, treasure chest is 2%, and then fight is 10%. And then if you don't hit any of those, then you get an event instead. Yeah, there's lots of fun things you can do with double confusion, right? Chance to miss target and hit yourself, that would be a nightmare. So force field blocks out here. Actually, we can block out with just double defend, I guess, but why? Let's just recycle the dual cast. Play the attacks. I guess Rip and Tear double defend does more damage. Oh, just kidding, we don't have the choker room for that. Randomized costs every time you play a card. Yikes. What if, when you got double confused, cards can't cost 0 anymore? So if you had like 4 stacks of confusion, all your cards cost 3. Okay. Whole point of going in here was setting up burner. I guess 2 is better than 5. How would you even get 4 stacks of confusion? Yeah, you'd have to add more confusion-centric cards. Oh man, if it changed the top range too, oh, that'd be so gross. Start getting 1 to 4 cost cards. Yeah, Snecko Oil, there you go. I mean, technically, Snecko Oil doesn't currently confuse you, but I like the idea. Alright, 2's better than 5, so whatever. Not amazing. Could take a charge battery, sort of fits into our physical block plan. It says plus on it. Blocks for 10, it's quite a bit. It's a big number. Or could take a defrag? No. Let's take a charge battery. And Smith the... I don't know. Go for the eyes. Get 2 turns a week. Dual cast, recycle, and zap have no upgrade. The upgrade does nothing. Defend doesn't seem impactful enough. Same with Strike. Core Surge, I guess, gets 4 extra damage. It's the best damage upgrade. Amplify, there's no powers in the deck. I guess I'll take 3 block. No, Go for the Eyes has got to be better than 3 block, right? Unless we're planning on removing the Go for the Eyes. I guess we could recall. I'm gonna go for the Eyes. Okay. What if Snecko Eye worked differently? What if being confused made your cards costs go like the first card you drew in the fight always costs 0, and then the next costs 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then it resets? That'd be kind of fun. Kind of early for Hyper Beam. I mean, I guess we just don't care about focus, right? We're gonna end up Hyper Beaming a bunch of times. Yeah, Snecko Eye first night. That'd be super cool to be like, okay, so this card's gonna cost 0, so man, that sounds like really headache-inducing. I'm kind of glad that's not the mechanic, because then I would have to actually do it. But it does sound fun. These are all getting played for sure. We could skip Hyper Beam to keep our Frost Orb block. but it just does 34 damage. I guess we get a small rebate, right? We get like 3 damage here. It's going to be at least 11 damage. And it gets to potentially hit a torch head. It's basically nothing, though. Okay, we can recycle the Amplify. Get that bullshit out of the deck. And then I guess just play the rest of the cards. We're going after a Torch Head here. I think we want to put both Torch Heads below 34, and then we're going to ignore them. Meteor Strike, and then Zap lets us play Force Field or Charge Battery. Probably Force Field, because that one actually blocks out. I guess we could play Cold Snap. Cold Snap is free. Oh wait, Cold Snap doesn't block. Oh wait, actually Charge Battery blocks out too, huh? Okay, I'll take an energy next turn then, if it's free. Oh wait, this doesn't block out. What am I doing? It's off by 1. This blocks out, but I don't... I guess I'd get to keep Force Field if I do that. But I'd skip a draw, so let's not do that. I'll draw that Hyper Beam. I failed to draw Hyper Beam. Disappointment. Okay. Guaranteed Hyper Beam next turn. That's nice. It's something. We're gonna be weak though. Oh, we're actually not weak. She weaks first, and we had the debuff blocker. We should Cold Snap Meteor Strike before Hyper Beam, because we got a little bit of block out of it. And then, like, Force Field and Go for the Eyes need to get played. And I guess Streamline since we got extra energy. Or extra choker time is really the constraint. She's trying to kill us. Rip and Tear. We can recycle a Defend, and then... I guess that costs us in that 1, huh? Because recycle costs 3. Yeah, it is weird that the debuffs are in an inconsistent order. I guess we just want the max block here. So these are 3 per energy. This is also 3 per energy. This one is 2.3 per energy. This one's 1.5 per energy. Oh wait, this one's free. Let's do that one. I guess it's these 3. Sure. Okay. Wasn't Charge Battery 7 versus 6 for 2 defense? Charge Battery cost 3. So it... Maybe... Yeah, maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe that was right. So having Incense Burner on 4 seems reasonable. I thought it was less, but I may be off my rocker here. All for One is kind of insane with Snecko Eye. Creative AI is kind of okay with Snecko Eye 2. We do have an Amplify in the deck, so maybe Creative AI would find something to do eventually with that. I mean, after you play Creative AI, Amplify always has a target, right? So that's something. If you don't play a power because it's too expensive, then it cycles back around and gets its cost randomized, and it gets cheaper. We're not going to pick Fission or Reboot because they're terrible with Snecko Eye. Yeah, I kind of agree that Choker All for One creates some issues. We've definitely already had some sort of choker constraints. And the deck is not huge, so we're not really going to be able to fish a ton of cards out of the discard. What does the average result look like for All for One? Okay, so on average, how many cards are in the discard pile when we draw All for One? If it's drawn, let's assume it's the first shuffle. If we draw it in the first hand, obviously there's no cards in the discard pile. If we draw it in the second hand, there are 7 cards in the discard pile. And if it's in the third hand, we're back to 0 because we shuffle after the third draw, because we draw 21 cards out of a 19-card deck. So the only way there's cards in the discard pile is if there's 7 from turn 1, assuming first shuffle. That's true. Yeah, okay, that's true. It can be in the hand with 0-cost cards. Fair point. So so for the first hand, it's got a pool of 6 cards to hit. For the first and third hand, it's got a pool of 6 cards to hit the other cards that are in hand. So on average, 1.5 of them will be 0 cost. And for the second hand, it's going to have the 6 cards that it's in the hand with and the 7 cards from the discard pile. So 13 cards total, which should be an average of, what, 4 cards? No, 3 cards. 3.25 cards would be 0 cost. So there is a 7 out of 19 chance of being in the second hand, and there is a 12 out of 19 chance of being either the third or first hand. So we end up with 12 out of 19 times 6 over 4 plus 7 out of 19 times 13 over 4. Extra cards that would be available, assuming first shuffle, which is 2 cards approximately. So we play All for One, we get... So we play like 2 0-cost cards, and then we All for One and play those cards again, is sort of the expectation. And then we've got 1 more card for Choker. It seems pretty good. If it's more than 2, you don't benefit. Yeah, exactly. That's fair. So actually, like, taking that average is not technically correct, right? Because that means that sometimes you've got 0 cards that benefit and sometimes 6 cards benefit, but we can't actually get the benefit out of 6 cards because then we'd need to play, whatever, 15 cards a turn to make that go. So that math is a little bit too high. But it was a little bit over 2, and I rounded it down to 2, so that should be about right. Yeah, I think energy is like usually not the constraint for the deck. I think usually the constraint for the deck is Choker at this point and not energy. But sometimes energy matters, yeah. It also gets better the more cards we add to the deck, right? The more cards we have in the deck, the more cards are in the discard. Also, like, the Heart Fight is always going to have extra cards. It gets much better if we don't shuffle after the third hand. I'm going to take it. Black Star, you're too late. Why weren't you here? I would have loved a Black Star here. Hyper Beam Black Star. Do you ever care about removing that curse? You mean the amplify? Yeah, it would be nice to remove. Haven't gotten around to it yet. Pretty sure Runic Dome gets us killed. Oh, the Bane, you can't remove that one. Yeah, it says there's can't be removed from the deck. That's the penalty for Ascension 10. You just always have a curse. Nope, can't transform or remove. It can't be targeted for those effects. Also, if you transform a curse, you will get another curse back, so not recommended. Maybe recommended if you have a really bad curse. I was just talking about how I don't care about the energy very much, so I guess we take Black Star. The unfortunate part about Black Star is we don't have Green Key yet, so our yeah, I guess if you have like a Normality, it's pretty reasonable transform target. Normality or Shame or Doubt are sort of the main ones that I would be considering transforming. That's true. Yeah, technically, any transform effect removes the old card and adds a new card. So, if something upgrades new cards, or if you have Omamori, yeah, it does block it. So we might only have a 1 Elite Act 3, which would be really unfortunate for Black Star. But I think we just have to grit our teeth and hope that doesn't happen. Time Meter first. I did not see the Mega Elite. There he is. Looks like 3 Elites, so that's great. We're forced to go this way. This choice doesn't matter, so let's just get started. We need to block 420. Which we can't do. We could maybe kill Exploder. All for One gets 0 targets the first time it's seen. Wonderful. Transforming a Curse gives you a max HP with Dark Stone Parry. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had that interaction, but that's fun. We probably want to play Core Surge so that we can block the... Oh crap, Hyper Beam in this fight. Shapes always catch me off guard. I'm never thinking like, how do I deal with the Spiker? But it's a real problem the game wants you to solve. Max HP is a wasted stat. Yeah, it's a wasted stat if you win, for sure. If you win, all your extra HP is useless, right? But if you don't win, then having extra max HP would have been very helpful. This blocks for more than that. I guess that's true. We can just Mercury Hourglass him to death. This blocks some card draws, but I want the health. It also puts All for One in the second hand. Which still has no targets. Excellent. Gosh. Everything's all expensive. I think I'm just going to Rip and Tear. We've got, we're intangible, so Spiker would only hit us back for 1. Okay. Fair enough. Kinda asked for that. Can we block for 9 before we Hyper Beam? Definitely not. We could block for 5. Or we could just not Hyper Beam. If we wait 10 turns, Incense Burner will be on 4? Or on 5? That's pretty reasonable. Alright, see you around, Zero Gochiro. Get some Frost Orbs. His max damage is 9, right? So if we get 3 Frost Orbs, we actually are guaranteed to block out forever. So we can just... Yeah, we can just Meteor Strike Repulsor next turn. And build up Frost Orbs and never take damage. Oh wait, no, if we Meteor Strike Repulsor, then we don't have anybody to Cold Snap. So if we streamline on Exploder and Cold Snap on Repulsor, then if we Cold Snap Repulsor 3 times, we get our 3 Frost Orbs and do our 27 damage. So I think that's the plan. We're gonna never Meteor Strike. Wait, we don't have enough energy for this. Okay, so I guess we just Cold Snap on Exploder then. We're never gonna Hyper Beam, so let's get rid of that. There's the next Cold Snap. Oh wait, that one costs 0, right? Yeah, so we can get that back with All for One. And then our combo's done. Now we just press end turn. It's kind of a weird one. Who's the spiker now, Spiker? Checkmate. He's like, but wait, I have 9 damage. Oh no. He has 9 block. My god. I've made a huge mistake. This Spiker questioning all of his life choices now. But if I can't spike him, what do I do? You die. You die, little friend. We do get to go to a shop in Act 3. Oh gosh, what do we do? Compile Driver, Rebound, Turbo, and Cool-Headed. Draw some cards, Rebound our Meteor Strike. Rebound is kind of neat with Snecko Eye because you can re-randomize the cost of something, but not really, because you have to play the thing to re-randomize. It's not like if it costs 3, you can get it back for free or something. Anybody knows what happens if you have a Naloth's Hungry Face and a Curse Key? You get the curse for opening the chest, not for taking the relic. So if you open the chest, you still get the curse, even if the chest is empty. So you get curse and no relic. What's even weirder is if you have Naloth's Hungry Face and gosh, what's it called? Matryoshka. Then Naloth's Hungry Face will eat specifically the one that doesn't have Sapphire Key attached to it. So you'll still have the Sapphire Key option. I think we skip here. Darklings, sure. Sounds about right. We've already blocked out. We can Core Surge to block our own debuff from the Hyper Beam. And then Recycle Amplify to get rid of that. Get a free Frost Orb. Play card for no reason. Sure. All for one cost 0, so if we find like a 0 cost something, we could do an infinite combo. Hyper Beam. We could try and kill this Darkling. Could a 0 cost Force Field and Recycle. Those don't do any damage. So I guess we'll just kill this one and block. So, okay, we've blocked out. We could still recycle a defend and play Equilibrium if we want to hold these cards. I guess that just means we don't shuffle the Zap and the Dual Cast, which seems wise. And we get rid of a defend. We have Lethal. We okay with Burner on 2. The alternative being we knock down one of them and block the other one. And then guaranteed draw Hyper Beam next turn for Burner on 3. Where do we want Burner for Act 3 Hallways? 4, right? Because you can get, like, Baseball Sentry and stuff. I guess you can also get, like, Triple Jawworm, where you kind of want it on 5. So I guess we just want it on as high as number as we can get. Okay, so let's kill him and block him out. And put him close to death for convenience. Let's see, are we blocked out? Yeah, we are. Okay. Is Baseball Sentry Act 2? That makes sense. Those seem like Act 2 enemies. Right, he's not attacking, so we shouldn't kill him. Yeah, Baseball Shapes, that's true. For Shapes, we arguably want Burner on 3, right? Because that's the turn Exploder explodes. If we want that, we can just kill right now. Actually, turn 3 is also Baseball's 22 attack, right? Because he starts blocking, and then he 11s, and then he 22s. Yeah, let's just do 3. 4 is better for Darklings, but I don't think you can fight Darklings twice in a row. You can fight them twice in the act, but I've never fought them twice in a row. Maybe it's possible. Loop kind of does stuff. We've got Plasma Orbs, so we get extra energy, but we don't really care about extra energy. We could amplify Capacitor for extra Plasma Orbs again, but we don't care about Plasma Orbs, so I think we're just done. Oh hey, I didn't think about this, but All for One actually meaningfully interacts with Streamline here. If Streamline randomly gets a cost of 1, then the Streamline in the discard will cost 0. So that actually could get us an extra All for One card. I guess that's kind of stretching the definition of meaningfully, but you know what I mean. more of a technically interacts than a meaningfully interacts, but okay, so I think the line here is Meteor Strike to block this turn, and then Streamline and Equilibrium, and that holds an All for One for next turn, and then we can All for One Meteor Strike. Technically Streamline too. Yeah, it is kind of fun that it happened on the very next floor. The very next turn of combat contained that combo. We can recycle Amplify, which is always something I'm excited to do. We can Core Surge, Hyper Beam. We can All for One a Meteor Strike. Got all kinds of options this turn. How do we set up for next turn? Yikes. Next turn looks really bad. Can we put a Lightning Orb in front for dual cast? I don't think so. There's no Lightning Orbs in hand. I don't like this. I think the best way to set up for the future is to develop an artifact charge and then not use it. But it doesn't help for next turn. It just helps for... Oh wait, next turn is our burner turn! Hell yeah! Perfect burner setup. We set it up for completely different fights, but you know what? That's fine. Hey, Throwing Tori. Yeah, it is defect this month. During Silent Month, people were all like, "Oh, I'm so excited for defect month." So I'm glad we're getting to pay that off now. People coming back and being excited to see the defect. All right, so we're always playing Core Surge, and I guess we're always recycling Amplify, so we never want to redraw that again. I guess we should weaken him for next turn. It doesn't matter, but maybe somehow it matters. It's definitely not going to matter. We can recycle an extra card. Are you planning on going back to rotation next month? I think probably, yeah, just back on rotation. Yeah, this is a Snickle Meteor Strike deck, I would say is the archetype here. Snickle has been kind to us. Pretty well balanced, except some extra zero-cost cards. Thanks, Snickle. Ooh, Demos halfway to the playtest. You've been subscribed for 2 months. I'm surprised you're only halfway. Seems like you should be all the way there by now. 2 months is a long time. Ooh, hey, someone 25. Somebody reminded him playtests exist. We just did a playtest, but he's going back in. He wants more. This time he's out for blood. Whenever I see a deck like this, I pick every hologram I see. Oh, you're redeeming for him. I see. Oh, okay. Well, Demos, you're in the playtest now. Someone 25, it turns out, is not out for blood. He's out for friendship. I should let people put a message in the playtest reward so they can tell me when they're doing that. So we're in this position. We want to recycle something. It's probably defend. Okay. Nobody wants to redraw defend. Zap probably helps us block on future turns, right? Does Cold Snap help? That might be too low on energy. And it only blocks for 2. I think we probably get more value out of 1 energy than 2 block. I guess this is 1 energy for 3 block, so maybe not incredible value here. But we don't need 7 energy, right? So we should get rid of at least 1, so I'll do the zap. And strike in case we're killing Transient. Definitely seems like we're not, but you never know. Maybe we get an all-for-one infinite loop that I was previously unaware of. I'm gonna kill him. All-for-one co-occurring with a zero-cost strike here. Looks like a pretty scary turn, though. Seems like things did not work out very well for us this turn. Can we, like, find a buffer, maybe? Or a panic button? Do we look for buffer or panic button? I think we look in the power pot, because we currently have an artifact charge. Oh yeah, all for one infinite with choker. Good point. Seems like our damage is too low. That's what Transient's trying to tell us. Alright, let's open this box. These aren't useful. We already exhausted our Amplify, so even the Creative AI Dream is not very extreme. But maybe it gets a buffer next turn. Well, strike all for one strike does something. I guess we just open the other box too. Do we just finesse and hope to draw something better? I guess Flash of Steel is just a better finesse right now. Eh. 4 cards left on Choker. One of those cards is almost certainly Cold Snap. So Cold Snap all for one, and then Flash of Steel, maybe something else? Maybe that's completely wrong. Maybe it's just supposed to be like Equilibrium Charge Battery. Equilibrium Charge Battery blocks for 23, 23 plus 3, plus 4. So that's blocking for 30, we take 34 damage. Yikes! We could just all for one Flash of Steel again. Hope to draw Meteor Strike. Or Hyper Beam. It's like a 1 out of 8, right? It's not even that unlikely. Okay. Oh, God. No, I didn't forget. I deliberately left it out for Choker Room. Jeez. Well, we're getting beat up this turn. This is not a good one. I guess it's just strike Charge Battery. I don't want to play Equilibrium because then we hold this garbage hand next turn. Well, that was gross. Feast and Famine here. All the good cards on one turn. Meteor Strike and Hyper Beam were both completely bottom deck that shuffle. So I'm really glad that I lined it up so that we drew exactly. Because otherwise they would have skipped a shuffle. Yeah, let's get that Storm out of here. Yeah, we do need next turn to be good. If next turn bricks, we kind of lose the fight. Nothing we can do to change it here. I guess we play the cards in case we find lethal somehow. Looks like we didn't brick. Not amazing turn though either. Storm and Zap both block for 3, which is less than 5. So I guess at the end of our turn is Storm double defend. Okay. Well, we walked away from it. Definitely a warning sign, though. Transient is a measurement of how good your deck's going to be at Act 4, basically. Do you have enough damage to fight, like, Spire Elites in the heart? And we did not appear to. I mean, our damage is just, like, really bursty, right? We've got, like, a couple of really big damage cards, and if we don't draw them correctly, we just don't. We don't get there. I don't think any of this is helping, though. We have to go left because we need a Mega Elite. Equilibrium costs 0, so we can Equilibrium all for one all day. Equilibrium Force Field blocks for 29. So we can just do that. And I'll play Defend to get it out of hand. Or I could play Charge Battery for the same reason. Get some extra energy next turn. Feels like a bigger resource to be used, but it's actually even less efficient, right? It's 3 block for energy versus 2.5. I guess they're about the same. This one's clunkier. Okay. Super casual Meteor Strike for 0. All for One goes and gets Equilibrium, which we don't really want. But I guess we kind of need, because we need block, presumably. See if we can change his mind a little bit. Okay, now we need less block. So that's blocked out, but we should play Zap and something else to clear some hand room. And not strike. So I guess Defend is expensive. So we only block 2 draws. Not too bad. No point in striking. And if we break him again, we won't be able to get through his malleable. So we should just be done here. Ooh, it's a life coach raid. Welcome on in to all the life coach folks. We are sort of teetering on the brink of death here. We've got some good stuff going on. We've got a Snecko swap into Meteor Strike Hyper Beam. The final raid. But we're in a bit of a tough spot. He's taking a break from streaming. Oh shit. Okay. I hope everything's going okay. Well, darn. Well, Drat, I like watching his streams. I hope he comes back. Yeah. Rough few Ironclad runs. He definitely seems like someone who gets like very emotionally invested in his games. So I can see the I could see why the frustration would seep into his psyche. Sorry, I shouldn't be like psychoanalyzing life coach. That's a weird thing to do. But I hope he's feeling better. Obviously, yeah, great player. Yeah, there's nothing more effective we can do this turn, so we'll just end. Yeah, if we're able to pull this one out, it should be fun. Meteor Strike Hyper Beam stuff. Thanks for the follow, not Rudy. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the Vegetable Patch. And let me just introduce myself really quick. I'm Vegetablebread. I'm a game developer. So I am playing Slay the Spire to try and build a game development or community around the games that I'm making. First game I'm making is called Rogue Executive. It's a single-player tactical RPG in the style of traditional roguelikes. So you control a single character, you have a bunch of skills, you move around. Thematically, it's a entrepreneurship simulation. So you're trying to like set up a business, but there's all these people in the neighborhood that are trying to stop you, and so you go and you shut them down, you take their money, and you set up your business anyway. It's really fun. If you want to give it a try, there is a playtest channel points reward that you can save up for. And thanks for the follow, Emir Sky 61. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the Vegetable Patch. Yeah, it's a fun run, but it's a little bit too slow. And we're getting punished here by Act 3 hallways. So I'm not super confident that we're going to survive, like, this fight or this fight. We had a mob bank since, like, floor 4, and we've literally never been to a shop. So we're just holding onto a bunch of cash. Just trying desperately to survive until we can pay it off. We'll see. Got a lot of block this turn, so we should be fine here. I guess we'll develop the artifact for future hyper beams, although we've already lost our focus, so... it doesn't matter too much. Could strike here, but then we wouldn't be able to change the intention again, so that would be a mistake that could get us a curse. Yeah, we super dodged Act 1. We only fought one elite and we smoke bombed it. Because we were starting out with Snecko Eye, so it's a pretty dangerous situation to be in. So we started off a little bit slow. Thanks for the follow, Mr. Cool James Bond. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the Vegetable Patch. I would like to imagine that Sean Connery is a member of the Vegetable Patch. That's what that sounds like to me. This is probably lethal, right? We have Hyper Beam for 0 and then all for 1. I guess we overdraw. But, like, yeah, we have lethal a million ways. Burner on 2's not amazing, but happy to get out of the fight. Hologram? Seems like usually a Snecko Eye card. If we have Hologram and All for One and we get lucky, we could do an infinite loop, although we have Choker, so that's not really... it's not like an infinite, it would just be a block for... I don't know. Block for 15, do 30 damage infinite. Still, you know, pretty good turn. Hologram can always just, like, fish 0-cost cards out of the discard, too. Just go get our Meteor Strike. It's not too bad. If you're doing these streams to promote your game, isn't putting the playtest behind a point reward a little bit odd? Maybe. I mean, I see what you're saying, right? I should be getting as many playtesters as possible. But as a practical consideration, there's a backlog of, like, 7 months to playtest. Or not 7 months, sorry. It's like, this is like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So it's like a 3 or 4 month backlog. So it helps to, like, rate limit them a little bit, you know, if people have to pay for them. Do you have any dev vlogs or anything? No. I find that, like, either streaming the actual game development, like the like writing of code, or like writing blogs about the development process, the primary audience for that isn't players, it's other game developers. And the point of marketing is not really to show your game to other game developers, it's to show it to players. It's I don't think those things are generally very effective. Whereas when I'm doing Slay the Spire streams, right, I'm interacting directly with players, and I'm saying, like, hey, you, you player, you could buy my game. Wouldn't that be cool? Think about that. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna skip over Hologram. I don't know. Like, we need more... I guess Hologram kind of is more damage, right? Because we can recur Meteor Strike, which is something it feels like we're missing. We have to get so lucky in this run to win from this position. We're in such a bad spot. We have Black Star, like, we're in a position to get lucky. We need some stuff to happen. What is the game being developed on? This very computer. It's in Unity and C#. It's not, like, highly reliant on Unity. I could split it out and do any C#. Just, like, do a C# runtime, but run on Mono or something. But Unity is pretty helpful for porting to a bunch of platforms, and they did a bunch of rendering stuff. And, like, for example, the playtests I run on a web browser, and, like, figuring out how to get C# to run on somebody else's web browser would be a huge pain in the ass if it wasn't Unity. Your PC's ancient. What do you need to run it? So it's just, it's a web, as I just said, it's a web browser, it really has very low system requirements. I haven't, like, put in the effort to finding the sort of minimum spec, but I am certain that your computer can run it if you're, if it's anything reasonable. Thanks for the follow, fstock96. So yeah, we could go up to 2,000 gold. Huh. We can upgrade all our cards and then die, because we need to heal. Also, we don't really have any good upgrades, so that seems like a bad idea. Let's go to Rare Relic. Slime Boss again, the Slimening. Probably want to all for one. So, like, strike, streamline, all for one strike. Skipping Rip and Tear seems okay. I guess all for one is 15 damage and Rip and Tear is 18, so I should do Rip and Tear. What outs do we even have for winning? Yeah, that's a tricky question, right? Like, I don't... We kind of just have to get lucky in a bunch of fights. We have to, like, draw things in the correct order. Like, Gambling Chip would be really good. We could get Gambling Chip from this. No, I didn't forget. Yeah, when I counted all for one, it's doing 15 damage. Or 16 damage, I counted strike. 10 plus 6 is 16. Is 18. Sure. I guess there's no punishment for Equilibrium, we just get extra block next turn. Meteor Strike, Hologram, Meteor Strike, Hyper Beam seems like a pretty good turn. We just need to do, like, stuff like this. This is how we win. Like, you can do that to the heart, you know? That just wins fights. It doesn't bode well when the Act 1 boss isn't a breeze. I would say he was pretty breezy. That was pretty easy. We did take a hologram just a second ago. Do we take a second one? I think definitely not. The hologram plus is quite a bit better than regular hologram here. The exhaust matters. Chill's bad, Chaos is bad. Compound River will get us some card draw. We've been really short on card draw for a long time. And I feel like I've sort of repeatedly refused to address the problem. We have like a Cold Snap, so sometimes this draws 2 cards. Sometimes it draws 0 cards, though. Drawing cards is really good with Snecko Eye. It just feels kind of low impact, but I don't know. We've identified the problem, right? The problem is our damage is too low. And this increases the damage. It's about as effectively as a common could do. Alright. Okay. Intangible on 1 is not exactly what we wanted, but works pretty well here. Do we care about our focus? No, I don't think we do. Well, we got to do some bullshit there. That's nice. Equilibrium blocks out. We could hologram something. But why? I guess we could hologram, like, Equilibrium and then recycle it. Or not Equilibrium, Amplify. Just to get rid of it. Oh wait, where's All for One? No, we should hologram All for One so that we can play Hyper Beam again next turn. Or I guess we could do Meteor Strike, right? We have Equilibrium in hand. No, we should do All for One, because then we can play Equilibrium again next turn. Not entirely clear that's something we're going to want to do. Kind of depends on what the costs are for these. I guess that Hyper Beam just does more damage than Meteor Strike too, so if we get all for one, we do 44 damage. It's pretty close to being lethal at that point. We'll probably figure it out. And we do want to get rid of something so we can clear out some hand room. Probably either Strike or Zap. Let's just do Zap. We're holding dual cast, so if we want to evoke Plasma Orbs for energy, we can do that easily. Okay. He's making burns. Oh man, we got more zero cost stuff. Maybe I should have played this strike just for hand room. I didn't really consider running out of hand room. So the very first card is Hyper Beam, but then we get Amplify and Equilibrium, which we don't really want. So if we can clear out 4 cards, we can redraw Streamline, which I assume is lethal. Burner's on 2. We have some time potentially to set that up for the next fight. I also don't think we're just gonna like hang out in the Nemesis fight. Unless we have to. So we can put him on 1. That seems pretty safe, right? Because then we can kill him whenever we want. Including when he's intangible. Okay, so now we'll try to get Burner on 4. Oh crap, Hourglass, yeah, good point. He regens 7, yeah. So we've got both directions pushing on here. Can we kill him from 6? Velvet Choker says probably not. If we redraw Rip and Tear, maybe? Oh wait, we can Equilibrium, so we can hold exactly this hand if we want. Does this hand kill him from 6? 1, 2, 3, 4... Doesn't seem like. Alright, I'll just kill him now then. I don't want to get 45 next turn, because we can't block for 45. Does the energy reduction of Streamline get overtaken by Snecko, or do you get the benefit? I've never seen Snecko on defect before. Both are true, so it both gets overridden and you get the benefit. So it's actually relevant in this particular situation. If Snecko decides that the random cost of where is it? Of Streamline is 1, then when it goes into the discard pile, it'll cost 0, and then we can redraw it with All for One. But if we redraw Streamline, so if we shuffle the discard and draw the card again, then it'll be randomized. So it doesn't matter how many times you play Streamline, each time you draw it, it'll get a random new cost. Same thing for Force Field. Force Field will not remember how many cards you've played. It'll generate its random cost, and then if you play powers after that, it'll get reduced. That actually even applies if it's in the discard. So if we have a 2-cost Force Field, discard it, play 2 powers, and then All for One, we will redraw the Force Field. No reason to skip these, but they're not really doing anything for us. Second Hyper Beam. Yeah, the Nemesis was holding onto the boot. He knows. He knows. I don't really understand the point of second Hyper Beam. Does it do something that we don't already do? I guess it increases the Hyper Beam density. Maybe we get... It's more chance for All for One to hit a Hyper Beam. Doing 800 damage to the heart with hyper beams takes like quite a bit of doing. Like you have to play what? Like 24 hyper beams to kill the heart. Is that right? Maybe it's 23 because the 26 matters eventually. It's a lot of hyper beams. Wait, is it more than that? Is it like 50? Because it's okay. So it's you'd need 4 to do 100, and there's 800. So 4 times 8. Yeah. So we'd need 32 hyper beams ish. Maybe it's 31. It's a lot of hyper beams. I don't think we're gonna have time to do that. But it's not clear like what our alternate plan is. Claw seems terrible with Snecko Eye. Yeah, the negative focus we don't super care about. We're mostly blocking with sort of physical blocking, force field, equilibrium, charge battery, hologram, that kind of stuff. Yeah, maybe we just get like a cult pot? I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. I don't think it's second hyper beam though. Happy to lose the defend, I guess. Streamline's not great either, but... Tesseract? I think we soak this thing for everything it's worth. Because maybe it lets us win? We also do have question cards. We get 3 extra colorless cards. Let's see. So, like... Apotheosis, Panacea, Panic Button, Dark Shackles, Hand of Greed, kinda. It's a big attack with Snecko Eye. There are a lot of zero-cost colorless cards, that is true. We're probably resting here either way, right? There's a panic button. Hand of Greed. Master Strategy, too. There are no 3-cost colorless cards. Interesting. Yeah, I guess the most expensive ones cost 2. It's Panacea, too. It's pretty much all the cards I named. I guess we got them all. So Panacea would like block the vulnerable. Master Strategy. I guess Blind is not bad either. Could pick Blind. This one's almost certainly Panic Button. Let's just click this one. I mean, Blind is technically scaling block, right? Which is something we currently don't have access to. I think there's 3 pickable options here. And this is like Panacea or Skip, and I don't feel strongly. It could be Skip. I mean, Panacea is good against the heart, but it's like pretty bad on the way there. And it's a Snecko Eye card, so having a randomized cost Panacea is not really good. Does Chrysalis ignore Snecko? I mean, it's the same answer as before, right? So Chrysalis applies the same permanent strength change effect as Madness and Snecko Eye. So they do cost 0 while they're in the draw pile, but as soon as you draw them, they get overwritten. Yeah, we do have Go for the Eyes, but Go for the Eyes is a little bit conditional. If we get Go for the Eyes on turn 1 against the heart, we can't blind him because he's not attacking. Also, just having 2 sources of it is like reasonable, right? We need this store to be really good, is what we really need. But like, what even does a good store look like? I don't even know. I think I'm going to take the blind over the master strategy. I don't think the Hand of Greed is up to par here. And then I think I'm going to skip this one. Okay. Good event. This has to be our Sapphire Key. Not too bad missing Akabiko. And then I think this is resting. Ori into Capacitor, Glacier, Biascog, and Echo Form. There you go. Yeah, Echo Form wins, I think. If we find an Echo Form, I think we're in good shape. Echo Form scales everything. Alright, it is Reptomancer, so our bad Incense Burner setup matters quite a bit here. We do have Meteor on one, though. That's nice. Let's go ahead and just end this one. Go for the eyes on him or her? I guess him, so that we can strike him to death next turn. Okay. Can I get a Hyper Beam, please? One Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam received. Okay, well that's helpful. I guess we should have Core Surged first. Let's see what this skill pot has in it. Because we still can't block for 32. Unless there's zero stuff. Is it Meteor Strike? Do we have lethal? 11 plus 12 is 23. Plus 30 is 53. No. What did you do with the colorless cards? Picked up a couple of them. Panic Button and a Blind. Considered a Master Strategy and a Panacea, but didn't pick either of those. So we don't have lethal. Yeah, let's see what this is. Crap. Well, we played this turn super wrong. We asked for a Hyper Beam and got a Hyper Beam, and I got all excited. But in reality, we were supposed to play like a Core Surge first and Chill first. And we did it all wrong. So I'm going to restart the fight and get less excited there. Alright. We Meteor Striked this guy. And then we did Strike and go for the eyes on this guy and charge Veteran. Okay. Yes, it may. That's true. The clear, obvious better thing to do is Core Surge before Hyper Beam. That always needs to happen. But I am going to drink this skill pot too. Okay, it's the same stuff. So Chill blocks for a bunch. That's what we want. Let's Core Surge. And then Chill before we kill all the dudes. And then Hyper Beam. 2 cards left. I kind of want those cards to be all for one Meteor Strike. Which doesn't means we don't get to Cold Snap. But we are still blocking for 15, so we block for 24 total. Take 8. It's not too bad. Oh, we've got another card. Let's charge battery. I'm not sure why I had an extra card. I thought I wasn't going to. I think you're wrong, actually, Someone 25. I believe if you shuffle, you'll see different potion options. But It's the kind of thing that you would only find out from pathing the seeds, so I don't really want to find out. Thanks for the follow, Upstart Dude. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the Vegetable Patch. Did I skip FSOC96? If so, I apologize, and welcome to you also to the Vegetable Patch. With my sincerest apologies. Compile driver could get hologram, which could get Meteor Strike or all for one into Meteor Strike, which seems good. We could zap to guarantee it. Okay. It costs 0 as well. So if we get all for one, we can get hologram back. Wait, this is actually an infinite loop if we didn't have choker. Get hologram, get back all for one, get back Meteor Strike and hologram, then hologram. Run it back, Meteor Strike pays for the rest. Alas, we do have choker. So we're just wondering how much damage we can do in the next 4 cards. So it's probably like Streamline, hologram, all for one Meteor Strike. I guess we could actually, let's see, how do we do this? Can we Equilibrium to set up... Yeah, let's Equilibrium to set up Hyper Beam for next turn. That seems like a good idea. And then we can, like, recycle, Amplify. We hold Blind, too. No, we don't need to hold Blind. Okay. No cards in draw. Yeah. That's true. It's blind versus streamline here. I like streamline better. Yeah, meteor and stuff will shuffle. Yep. Okay. Oops, I was intending to potentially save Burner, but then the Lightning Orb killed her. Horncleat Mummified Hand. Mummified Hand is outstandingly good. There's a Glacier. Glacier is a card we've been begging for since floor 1 with the Snecko Eye. I literally, the first thing I said after we got Glacier, Snecko Eye was like, alright, now we just have to find a Glacier. Yeah, I mean, the plan was just to have a Hyper Beam up for the daggers. All right. Sure. All right. The cursor is helpfully reminding me. Uh-oh, maybe you want to keep Maw Bank going. You've only got 1,000 gold. Maybe you need more. All right, Flintlock. See you later. Have a good time watching football. We have an option for Orrery with Potion Belt here. That's kind of fun. Fairly big Waffle available here as well. Tempest? Anybody trying to ride the lightning? We could card remove the Amplify, finally, with 0 powers in the deck. I was kind of hoping there'd be like a creative AI or something here, so we could just start using the Amplify. We had a lot of hopes for this shop, a lot of dreams as well. 3 health relics is probably not what we needed. They're helpful for now. They'll get us to the Act 3 bosses, but given that we have 1,000 gold, it seems like this is probably not the shop we needed. What does Secret Technique do in the deck? Gets its cost randomized. draws a panic button. Glacier, maybe. Yeah, we probably are buying all the pots. We're probably buying all the pots and all the relics. And, like, removing a card. And then buying none of the cards. How much to save for Act 4 shop? I mean... yeah. Probably should be some. I guess we probably don't buy pair. Maybe we don't buy energy pot. Secret Technique does not randomize the cost. Yeah, the put is not draw. You don't draw the card. So, like, for example, if you have a Deus Ex Machina and you Secret Technique it into your hand, it does not turn into miracles. Yeah, pear seems completely unnecessary. We had this discussion on stream the other day. There was a strawberry next to a Lee's waffle, and we were like, that's insulting. The strawberry costs like 3 more gold than the Lee's waffle, but the Lee's waffle healed us for like 60. Alright, so let's do the obvious stuff. Okay, are we doing anything else? Dex pot seems fine. I'll click that because I have 500 gold, or 600 gold. Do we card remove the amplify? Yeah, it seems like we probably should. Although we do have a mummified hand now, so maybe we were just supposed to play a bunch of powers somehow. Creative AI would be busted now, like, but we don't have creative AI. Could pick capacitor, I guess, with the mummified hand. We already have a panic button. I've had some bad results playing 2 panic buttons recently. That's sort of coming back to haunt me. Thanks for the follow. Okay. Sophoric. No. Sophorfic Lotus. Sophorfic Lotus. Whew. I was like, does she mean like Sophic? No. Sophorfic Lotus. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the Vegetable Patch. It's a tough name to get through. Caused me some consternation. Maybe I'm just not that good at reading. I mean, Panic Button, like, we could buy a Panic Button. Panic Button is an extremely good card against the heart, right? You can Panic Button against the second attack in his cycle, and then you get 30 block and no downside. Which is great. Also, we're sort of generating block through Frost now, because we have a Glacier, a Cold Snap, so maybe we don't care about the downside. But having 2 of them just seems like such a pain in the butt. And saving 500 gold for the second shop seems like a sort of an even split. Maybe the second shop will be better. Reading equals nerd. Couldn't agree with you more. Seems like a very expensive red mask. Pretty sure we are no on this. And hope that the Act 4 shop rewards us. Extra Elite. We have to recall here. That's uncomfortable. Somebody suggested that we recall in Act 2, and I was like, that doesn't seem... it seems too aggressive, but we only got like a tiny upgrade out of it. I think we upgraded like... charge battery, or... No, that was the one where we upgraded... oh, I was going to say we upgraded Equilibrium, but I'm looking in the deck and Equilibrium is not upgraded, so that must not have been it. We only got like a tiny upgrade, and now it seems like would have been the correct decision. Oh well, more elites. Upgrade, go for the eyes. That seems fair. Can I draw a block card? Do we ever dual cast first? We can't dual cast after. Yes. Darn. We are in despair with our Black Star. Well, we fought the elite. We're doing it. Somewhat grudgingly. Alright. I'll take 6. Seems a good panic button turn. We could even block the debuff with Core Surge. Core Surge panic button. It's kind of sick. You don't see that every day. Oh, that's right. The previous Nemesis gave us the boot. He knew there was another Nemesis coming up, and he wanted to prepare us. I didn't understand at the time, but now I do. We have a hologram. What does hologram want to do? Do we have lethal? Wait, where's the all for one? Oh, there it is. Probably not. 131. If we hyper beam twice, that's 70. It's the Nemesis's Nemesis. I see. Yeah, it all makes sense now. It's all coming together. Equilibrium hologram blocks for 18 plus 2 from that, so we'd take 1 damage. Play these 2 cards, Hyper Beam twice, all for 1, and probably like Go for the Eyes. I think Go for the Eyes actually blocks out. So we don't have to Equilibrium, we could play Glacier instead. Which we'd prefer because we don't want to hold these cards. Sure. Two cards left. They are Go for the Eyes, Hyper Beam. Now we just gotta play 9 attacks next turn. Oh, wait. Compiled overdraws 2. Equilibrium's nice. We can block for 23, not quite 33. Recycle Streamline to make the energy for Rip and Tear. Actually, no, we should like blind instead. I guess we can. No, Evoke gives 0, so Zap Dual Cast, even if we could play it, would not generate block. Alright, so we'll just play blind. Hold the Rip and Tear for next turn when we've got a. When he's not intangible. Burner on 5 is fine for a Time Eater. It's ideal. Alright, what do we get? Meat on the Bone Juicy Bracelet. A floor 48 Juicy Bracelet, my favorite. Literally useless, cannot possibly be used. Second Go for the Eyes. Rebound for meteor stuff. Yeah, I know about that patch and it makes me salty. It should either just like not work. It should just be like whatever. You got a relic that doesn't ever pay off. That's fine, right? Like the Spire Elites gave you a preserved insect. Deal with it. Or they should handle all of them. Another card discover screen is shown. Huh. Interesting. Rest for 14 health or upgrade. Oh wait, no, we can't do either of these. We have to recall. Thanks, Hero Shapir. I have done that before where I've forgotten, so be on your guard. Help me out. Glacier Blind seems like it sets up well for future turns. I guess we can Glacier Blind Hologram Blind if we want to. But this is Time Eater, so playing unnecessary cards, not obviously a good idea. Even the blind is a little bit sus, right? Does the Power Pot ever scale us? I mean, it could give us, like, per turn... It could give us, like, focus, but it can't give us, like, focus every turn, right? Give us negative focus every turn. Creative AI, that's true. Yeah, creative AI is definitely a way to win this fight. I don't think we're actually too concerned about this fight. We've been building around Velvet Choker for so long. We're probably just fine here. So I think we'll try to save the potion until we realize we're not fine. I will spend the blind, though. Compile Driver draws a card, and then All for One gets back Blind Hologram. Let's see what the card is. Force Field. We actually have already blocked out this turn, so we just want damage. He's at 6 on the clock. We can just blind him again. Gives us 5 cards for next turn, which we should be able to fill up pretty easily. Man, we had it all this shuffle. It was a mistake to pick the Velvet Choker. I didn't realize it at the time, but we really were going to see a lot of infinites with, like, Meteor Strikes and All for Ones and stuff. I probably should have picked the Empty Cage instead. I think that was the big mistake for the run. This Choker was wrong. He's debuffing, so if we Core Surge, we can't protect ourselves from the Hyper Beam focus loss. I guess we can Equilibrium. Yeah, we need to block this turn anyway, so we'll just Equilibrium. Four cards left, so we'll play everything except for the Strike, and we'll recycle the Strike. Oh wait, no, we want to play everything except for the Core Surge. Shit. Recycle takes 2 cards, right? So we can't proc the clock and save the Core Surge. It's not possible. I guess we can Power Pot. That's a card. Seems like a weird time to Power Pot. Actually, if we Power Pot and get Bias Cog, it's pretty good here, right? Because we have Core Surge in hand. Okay. Defrag's definitely good in the fight. Electro gets some damage right now. buffer blocks right now. Actually, do we get to save the buffer? He's hitting for 24... No, we are already blocking out now. So we'd get to save the buffer. I think I'd rather have focus than a buffer. So this, and this, that, and this. Prox clock, block out, save the core surge for the hyper beam. Yeah, Echo Form would be really nice. I said earlier that I think Echo Form is a win condition for this deck, and I still think that's true. We haven't found one, though. We were never offered one. If we Glacier here, we could generate some block for next turn, but we also cost ourselves some energy next turn. I guess we could Glacier and charge Battery. But now that's playing 2 cards that basically do nothing. So I think we'll just go for a 3-turn clock. So we'll try to play 4 cards this turn, next turn, and the turn after. A little spooky, though. Zap Compiles over to us some cards that could help us out. Alright, let's see it. Equilibrium's okay. If we do want to play 4 cards, Blind Equilibrium does that. Let's go and drink the Dex pot. Looks like the Dex is pretty helpful. And I'll go ahead and defend here too. We've got Equilibrium, so if we hold 4 cards, we miss a draw. We get 3 cards next turn. This turn isn't great. Three cards are probably like Rip and Tear, Cold Snap, Defend. Yeah. Pretty unfortunate. Giving him extra strength on the multi-attack turn, too. So he's going to end up hitting for a little harder. I don't know exactly what the rounding is because he's weak, but... we do enough damage to proc him, though. So that's nice. It's a pretty neat proc, 4 damage. Oh, I fucked up the burner, goddammit. We could play like Equilibrium, Slime, Force Field here. Hold the All for One in the Hologram. Or we just play nothing. Keep a whole clock cycle. I do like holding onto a panic button, but it's not like strictly necessary. And it's nice to keep the clock low, draw 7 cards. Yeah, I think I'll just pass. He's getting ahead of us here. He's got 4 strength and a bunch of armor. We're not getting through. We just have to, like, blind defend. Eat 20. Bardicus, you should buy a playtest. Unless you're saying not that many breadbucks. Or maybe you're offering a playtest to somebody. Blind is always happening. Yeah, not enough for a playtest. Yeah, not even close. I guess this blocks for 3. So we could like zap dual cast for some block too. Ends up blocking for 12 versus 9. Or versus 3, so blocks for 9. Yeah, it also does a little bit of damage. Okay. We should play a slime so that if we choke her next turn, we proc the clock. Keep those lined up if we can. Doesn't look like a 6-card turn. Seems like we don't have enough energy. Alright, looks like Bardicus has got a playtest. Is that the correct understanding? Sweet. Always like to see people helping each other out. Makes me feel nice and warm. Thank you, Praise Snecko. Giving everyone a nice experience. He's already weak, so Go for the Eyes doesn't block. So our only block is this Defend. Block for 10 takes 17. Hyper Beam does the reverse of blocking, because it takes away the focus that the Frost Orb is using. On the other hand, are we going to win if we start skipping Hyper Beams? Unclear. We are drawing Meteor Strike next turn. Meteor Strike Glacier is probably our plan for blocking, so I think Hyper Beam is a no. Okay, do we play Slime? Currently have 4 cards for next turn. We'd go down to 3. If we're able to play Meteor Strike and Glacier, we can play whatever else we want. There should be a bread exchange where prices are set by supply and demand. Bread loaf bets. Yeah, I kind of wish that the channel points system was a little bit more flexible. I don't feel like I have very much ability to play with it. The only thing I can really do to play with it is like, if 2 people wanted to give each other bread bucks, I could create a poll, have only those people guess, and then decide the winner, and transfer the points. And maybe if there was an automated way to do that, we could create a open marketplace. But you'd have to like have access to both people's accounts so that you could make them bid, and also like those polls are public, so other people could get in there really quick. Just screw the whole thing up. Seems like a really inefficient way to run a marketplace. Yeah, I think I will play the Slime. I think we only need to play 3 cards next turn. Alright, just Proc and Iron Meat on the bone. Oh man, he gave us the no-draw. Wait, why did we only draw 6 cards? I guess it wore off, but he gave us the no-draw thing. So now we're screwed, because we can't play Meteor Strike. Meteor Strike is skipping a shuffle. This is a disaster. We also can't play 3 cards. The only 3-card combination we can play is like Charge Battery, Streamline, Slime. Which I guess isn't terrible, but definitely isn't good. We could compile driver and hope that Meteor costs either 1 or 0. Or actually, specifically 0, right? Because then we need to play Charge Battery to end the turn. We also overdraw, so Meteor is skipping a shuffle no matter what we do. This is not good. This is not good stuff. This is his second multi-attack in a row, so he can't multi-attack again next turn. So we could just Glacier Charge Battery and just hope that he's not attacking again. It's pretty spicy. But maybe it's the right kind of spicy. I don't know. If he doesn't attack next turn, we look like a genius, right? We just Meteor Strike. But if he attacks next turn, we die. Well, like, not literally die, but, like, basically die. We take, like, 30 damage. I guess not quite that much. We buck for 12 if we just Meteor Strike. What else could we do? We could Glacier Streamline, probably with Vulnerable Pot. And then we could Vulnerable Pot on the Meteor Strike next turn. Glacier doesn't block for that much more than Charge Battery. If we're gonna just play Streamline and Glacier, we should just play Charge Battery, Streamline, Slime. Let's just get really lucky. Alright, he's just not attacking. That's what's happening. I'm pretty sure. Damn it. You asshole. Can't you just do what I want one time? Alright, well I guess we equilibrium this handful of slimes then. Called our bluff. That is fair. Okay, so Meteor Strike should probably happen. And then we can dual cast Hologram Meteor Strike, is that true? Dual cast would give us 6 energy. No, we'd have... Yeah, we'd have 3 left, and then this costs 2. If we recycle the expensive slime. We could blind to put him at 6 on the clock. And finish out our turn. That seems reasonable. Alright, if we... All for one, we can get back the Rip and Tear. Probably just blocking with Panic Button next turn. So I think we just want to play 6 cards. I think that means it's time for Hyper Beam. And we need to, like, potentially use the Fear Pot to get lethal. Next turn. So we're assuming we're drawing Streamline. and like at least one of these two next turn. So this is like 30, 45 damage next turn if we vulnerable pot. So we need to do like 100 this turn. Not great to be weak for this. Probably should have vulnerable potted last turn when we played Meteor Strike twice. But I think we can probably still get there. Actually, does that mess up our... No, it doesn't. We still made on the bone. Okay. We're off. We don't have enough damage. Didn't drop panic button. Okay, so we're looking for lethal next turn. I knew I should have played pot on that turn. We can't miss. Nothing we can do makes a difference. Oh wait, playing the zap blocks for 3. Okay. I guess technically we can wait a turn for burner. Having it on 3 is better than 2, right? Okay. Do Nudeka. Sure. Glacier seems pretty big. Glacier charge battery blocks out this turn. Hey, Lurker. What are you doing chatting? Thought I told you to stay in the basement. Alright, let's do Rep and Tear first to see who the right target is. Interesting. Usually Donu's the target, but Dekka has significantly lower health here. We don't have basically any scaling though, so if we don't kill Donu, we're gonna die. So I think Donu's gonna be the target anyway. Wondering how many defrag plus cards is too many in a deck. If you got more than 3, you need to have like a good reason, I would say. 3 is a lot. We've got another like almost infinite here. We've got like Meteor Strike dual cast, all for one dual cast kind of thing going on. Obviously we can't infinite, mostly from Velvet Choker, but also because that doesn't quite work. There's no way to get the all for one back, for example. But we have Streamline as well. It's a lot of damage. Two cards left. Probably want a hologram Meteor Strike. We're intangible next turn, so we don't care about that turn. We just need to kill Donu. Cold Snap, Compile Driver draws the rest of the deck. There's not really anything in it we care about. Cold Snap, Compile Driver also just, like, does damage. So does Core Surge. And... Strike, I guess? 2 cards left. Is it Blind on Donu? Oh no. Blind is useless here. They've got artifact charges. So I'll just do damage. And I'll just recycle the Blind. Since that's never going to be very effective. Okay. Donu coming in hot. Glacier Hologram Glacier should be able to block, right? Each one's blocking for... Let's see, the first one blocks for... One of the things gets evoked, so 5, 7, 17. Second one blocks for 14, so 31 total. And this gets evoked too. So yeah, that blocks out. Okay. And then I guess we can streamline. Get rid of a defend. Okay. Force field's good here. Force field defend equilibrium, maybe. I kind of want to play Charge Battery because we don't have any Plasma Orbs, so it'd be nice to have 5 energy for next turn. Depending on what costs get drawn. Could be a big all-for-one next turn. We've got a couple of 0 costs in the discard here. I guess just the 2 in hand, huh? Let's see, we've got 6, 10 passive blocks, we're up to 26 currently, so we need 10 more. So I guess Charge Battery, Compile Driver is fine. Oh wait, no, we can't afford a Compile Driver. So then just Charge Battery. Okay. Why is Meat on the Bone not flashing this time? I don't know, it should be. That's, I guess, a bug. Can we kill Donu this turn? It'd be nice to kill Donu. We have a Meteor Strike and an all-for-one. That's 42 damage. Leaves him with 49 health. All-for-one gets back Force Field and Defend, which don't do damage. So no, we're not killing him. But we do generate some block. From the 0 cost cards. Do you heal between these 2 boss fights? Usually not. You do if you have Pantograph. So we're taking 2. Rip and Tear on average does more damage than Go for the Eyes. Go for the Eyes removes an artifact charge. I guess this hits plated armor either way, right? Donu's Dekka's plated armor is getting a little bit out of control. Okay, great. 20 damage to Donu. Definitely should be able to kill him before his next buff is over then. I hope. Yeah, Hyper Beam, well, no, Hyper Beam does not kill him. We have kind of a free panic button this turn because we're presumably killing Donu before he attacks next turn. So Hyper Beam and panic button. God damn it! I always do that in the wrong stupid order. Why did I not play Equilibrium and Charge Better before panic button? Why do I do this wrong every time? I'm just gonna take the damage because it's too late in the fight to restart it. It'll take too long. But I should restart the fight and play the Equilibrium Charge Battery first. This is just me taking an unnecessary 9 damage. Yep, a true panic button, just like usual. I always think it's gonna start blocking my block next turn. It's not gonna start right now, but it starts right now. Very frustrating card. Okay. We could Glacier Compile Driver, draw some cards, kill Donu, maybe get some zero-cost stuff. Actually, drawing 1 card is better than drawing 2, because then if we draw 2 cards, we could end up with Meteor Strike on the wrong shuffle. If you restart, does it just restart Donu Deca or Time Eater? It restarts at Donu Deca. We're on a different floor now. When we fought Time Eater, we were on floor 50. This is floor 51. And it saves per floor. Actually, it saves sometimes in the middle of a floor, but usually per floor. Yeah, we only want to draw 1 card, so I'll just draw 1 card. Best card was Meteor Strike, but, you know. Zero Cost Equilibrium, could go back and get that, but I don't think we want to play it, because we want to draw all 7 cards so that we can Meteor Strike. On the flip side, it would be nice to block next turn. We have like a Glacier in hand right now. I guess we are intangible next turn. Is Slipstream effect takes effect before Confusion? What a shame. What do you mean by Slipstream? This hits 2 armor, this only hits 1 armor. They do basically the same damage. Let's recycle the... Oh shoot, that's cost at least 1. Recycle first. Okay. Got a zero-cost Meteor Strike and a zero-cost Hologram. It's an infinite, you know. Like it has been many, many times. Despite the fact that we picked Velvet Joker. We could do this over and over, but we can't because Joker. I'll settle for 3 Meteor Strikes a turn. We're not crying over playing Meteor Strike 3 times a turn. But it should be the end of the fight. I'll go ahead and Glacier. Glacier Charge Battery, so we've got some extra energy for next turn. But also extra block for next turn. We don't survive 48 damage. Let's go ahead and use the Compile Driver first. No, I want to... Yeah, I guess I will use the Compile Driver first. It's not very efficient at destroying plated armor, but that's okay. Meteor Strike blocks for 10. And does a bunch of damage. But I don't think we're killing him this turn. Because of Choker. I guess our most damage would be Hologram, Meteor Strike, Rip and Tear, Hyper Beam. Let's just count that out real quick. Or I guess actually Hyper Beam, Hologram, Hyper Beam is more damage. So this is 70 plus 20. It is actually lethal. Okay. So yeah, Hyper Beam, Hologram, Hyper Beam, Rip and Tear is lethal. Sweet. Burner on 2. Not the best number. But I guess I'll take it. It's better than taking damage, right? Good point. We have Cold Snap too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. That's too many cards. SBW saving me from killing myself. Getting a little bit tilted. Okay. I wish that this Go for the Eyes worked in this fight. Or this hologram didn't cost 3. There's a number of things that could help us here. I guess the Cold Snap is +2 energy. So we actually have the 9 to do Force Field, Hologram, Force Field. So this blocks for 32, 37, plus the 2. I guess that 2 is not going to happen because we're going to Hyper Beam as well. Oh wait, we don't have the energy to Hyper Beam. We could Glacier. I guess Glacier blocks for the same amount, but only if we don't Hyper Beam. But it gives us the energy to play Rip and Tear. Except that we can't play Rip and Tear because the turn's over. Whatever, we blocked out. Okay. Rip and Tear, all for 1. Rip and Tear is sweet. And then Charge Battery, I guess. Try and Meteor Strike him to death next turn. 4 is like the best number, so this is a good number to be on. Looks like we're probably killing this turn. Yeah, this is lethal. Okay, great. We got there. A little bit frustrating. Bring it back. We get to look at the Act 4 shop. We've got 500 gold. Should be a good shop. Might be able to pull it back. Echo Form, please. One time. Fairy in a bottle. 15 health or upgraded health. How do we get stuck with Choker? It wasn't so obvious when we picked Choker that it was going to be an infinite combo deck. So we sort of picked one voluntarily. We had a very weak Act 1, and we thought Choker would help us survive Act 2. It's Cult Pot. This is free, so I'm clicking that. It did help us survive Act 2. That is fair. We have been limping for quite a while. This has been yeah. This one's been a struggle. So obviously the Cult Pot, right? Cult Pot helps us win the heart fight. What about Doom and Gloom? Yeah, scales his damage. Bottled Flame. Bottled Flame on Core Surge is pretty insane against the heart. Can we afford all 3 potions and both relics? I think we can. No, we can't, right? Because this costs 208, 218. Maybe we can. 218, so then 72? Yeah, no, we can't afford this one, but this one's bad anyway. I mean, it's 5 health, but... I don't think we're interested in really any of the cards. The Glacier's okay. The Doomgloom's okay. Vulnerable Pot's insane, though. I mean, kinda. So Vulnerable Pot for the beginning of the heart fight, Cult Pot for the end of it. Bronze Scales for the middle. Could pick Enlightenment. It's not. Yeah, I agree with your evaluation. It's not terrible. I don't think it's probably a pick, but it is not terrible. I think it's less good than Bottled Flame. Bottled Flame on Core Surge saves us like 60 health, or not 60 health, but like 20 health or something, 30. It's big. All right, and that's all our money. Could buy a Static Discharge. We are against the heart. We've got Bronze Scales. Like maybe we're trying to make that go. We've got 100 health. We're looking for a way to scale. It's it does some stuff. How much damage do you do to the heart with? Can you do to the heart with Static Discharge? If it hits you for 1 times 15, and all 15 hit Static Discharge, he hits himself for 8 times 15, essentially. That's a lot. 8 times 15 is 120. Plus the 45 from this, so it's basically a damage cap on the multi-attack turns, as long as he's hitting you. He hits us twice for 2 damage caps, and we just have to find 2 more. I think it's probably correct. Yeah, let's grab a Static Discharge. It's really good in 50% of the fights from here on out, so... as long as we can survive this one. Which is not guaranteed. But we have All for One Hyper Beam, which seems pretty strong. Can we assassinate Shield? This does 70, 81, 93? Maybe we've... oh no, Vulnerable Pot doesn't work. Yeah, we probably are never Hyper Beaming during the... against the heart. So it looks like we can't assassinate. Turning around is not bad, though. Because it's health positive this turn. We're going to want to turn around... either turn around or kill next turn. Ideally both. Or ideally kill, I guess. Take the free route. And then we, like, defend Charge Battery to end the turn. Force Field's too expensive. Yeah, we lose some health, but... what can you do? Cold Snap, Compile Driver, Rip and Tear probably kills him. I guess Strike always kills. Okay. That should be the fight. We do have to set up Burner on a good number. 1, for example, is a bad number. Best number is 4. Unacceptable numbers are 5. Oh, I guess it's 5 and 2 are the unacceptable numbers. Yeah, 5 and 2. So best number is 4. We have to not kill next turn, basically. Glacier Defend blocks out. What does Hologram do? Gets an All for One and a Hyper Beam. Why did you say equals 2 at the end of that, SBW? Did you miss the... You tried to turn it into an equation. The inequality between 5 and 2 is not 100% clear, especially if you're on Watcher. If you're on Watcher, 2 is quite a bit better than 5, because you can vault and move 2 into a 3, basically. But yeah, other than that, I think they're the same, right? I think 5 is better than 2 if you're not Watcher, right? Because then for 5, you can like do all your crazy setup stuff on turn 1 and not get hit by the beat as much. They're definitely not equal. No two numbers are equal. This is Slay the Spire. That's true. 5 is better than 2 because, yeah, intangible stacking. And apparitions, so anybody can actually stack intangible on turn 1. Maybe 5 is even the best number. If you're playing Silent and you have apparitions and like 2 Wraith forms, 5 is the best number, right? Because then it happens the most during the fight. 4 is probably still better, but 5 is a pretty reasonable number. So we don't want to kill next turn, but next turn we have Meteor Strike, and he's quad attacking. Which puts us on kind of an awkward bubble here. You thought we were talking about a non-Euclidean math where 5 equals 2? I mean, non-Euclidean is like a specifically geometric type of space, right? There's no reasonable math where 5 equals 2. That's just not... That's not what the equality operator means. Okay, so we don't want to kill this turn, we don't want to kill next turn. How do we do that? Do we, like, hologram the Equilibrium this turn? And then hold on to, like, Glacier and Panic Button for next turn? That seems pretty reasonable. Okay, great. Let's recycle the Static Discharge first so we draw an extra card. Or draw 2 extra cards. He's not quad attacking. What was I thinking? Okay, so we want to put him low but not kill him, because 2's a bad number. We've got negative focus out the wazoo, so we want Plasma Orbs, not Frost Orbs next turn. We want Glacier to block the burn damage. So we'll put him at 6, which hopefully means we can kill him. On demand. We definitely can't block for 48, so we're going to have to accept a 3, which is fine. It's almost as good as 4. Okay. On to the heart we go. Blood Vial and a Gremlin Horn. Those are such troll relics. You will get 2 health and nothing else. Okay, sure. We get to draw a card and gain an energy when we kill the heart. I don't know about that. Man, this game has trolled us really hard with the relics. Got a Juicy Bracelet on 48 and a Gremlin Horn from the Spire Elites. No gambling chips for us. Oh man, yeah. Technically, the Blood Vial does pay off. You get to start that fight at 86 instead of 84. Wait, Sir Botchelot is claiming non-Euclidean is an existential threat to you and everyone you love in the third dimension. That's not true. That's not true at all. What if the three spatial dimensions that we're familiar with are actually just wrapped up on extremely long diameters? That's non-Euclidean, but it's not a threat to us. It just means our universe wraps around like a giant torus. It's all a game of asteroids. These are all bad, right? These are bad, and I'm tired. Let's go fight the heart. Okay, we got our Core Surge on 1, which is now unnecessary because we have Artifact Pot. I guess it means we can play our Hyper Beam. Let's see, what's the heart's debuff order? It's Vuln, then Weak. We don't really care about Weak. So stacking up 2 artifact charges, not really super useful. We should probably blind him, and vulnerable him, and drink our cult pot. So I guess we'll just take the, yeah, seriously. Thanks, Snecko. Really helpful. We're a 4 energy deck, we get to play 1 card. Choose a card. So we like Cult Pot, Ancient Pot, and Blind, right? Okay. We almost capped out our health with that Blood Vial. The Blood Vial was almost useless, but it got in there. It's useful. Okay. Good turn. Okay, Snecko has redeemed itself with a 0-cost Meteor Strike hologram. We have Static Discharge. Can we get rid of our armor? Let's see, we take 2 damage per card, so we can at most get rid of 12 armor if we played 6 cards and generated no block. We can't do quite that much. But we can do quite a bit. Let's go ahead and, actually, do we want to save the Fear Pot for when it heals more? Because it heals for more next turn. Yeah, we did get Burner on Big Hit, good point. I think we just want to save the block. We'll just take 0 here. So we'll like Glacier. Do we want to save Plasma Orbs or Frost Orbs? I mean, we don't need block next turn, so I guess Plasma Orbs? Yeah, could do Static Discharge and try to take a bunch of damage. I guess, yeah, we're probably ending up with Lightning Orbs, right? So it probably doesn't really matter which one we try and save. So we just skip Glacier completely then? I don't know. It makes me feel bad to lose the plated armor, but I guess it probably matters less than the heart health that it will take. So the first 4 damage we take each do 8 damage to the heart and 1 damage to us, and we lose a plated. And then after that, we just do 8 damage to the heart, 1 damage to us. Yes, they will. So yeah, if you have Frost Orbs and Static Discharge, you'll evoke the Frost Orbs and stop taking damage. Okay. So so our Relic Bar is really trolling us. Even this Horn Cleat, it seems like it's really good, but in fact, we want to have 0 armor right now. So it's like Static Discharge, go for the eyes, Meteor Strike, Hologram, Meteor Strike. We do gain a little bit of armor from the hologram, but Meteor Strike does too much to ignore. So if we do that, we play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. I guess we've got 1 extra energy, so we'd play Slime too. So we'd play 6 cards, lose 12 armor from that, gain 3 armor from this. Gain 4 at the end of the turn. So we'd lose 12, go down to 2, plus 3 is 5, plus 4 is 12. So we're really only taking 3 damage. So I don't think it's worth it to play Static Discharge. I think we just play Glacier here. And take no damage instead. Keep the plated. Because our max damage is 3. So then it's same line except Glacier instead of Static Discharge. And do we want to keep Frost Orbs or Plasma Orbs? Still Plasma Orbs, right? So we Glacier first. Oh wait. Yeah, well, whatever. Oh, nice, Spartacus. Last card is Slime. Yeah, I got poked a couple days ago. Just waiting for my next appointment now. Alright, it's a big attack. We've got plenty of energy. We can all for 1, and then like Meteor Strike, Hologram, all for 1, Meteor Strike, Hologram, Meteor Strike. It's a pretty good turn. A lot of meteors in it. Any reason to do anything else? Guess we get a force field back as well. Do we vulnerable pot this turn? This is like the last turn when vulnerable pot's good, right? I guess we all for 1 to take 1 damage. And then we get full healing out of it. Because I think we're damage capping pretty easily. No? Actually, so we're Meteor Striking 3 times for 45 each. So that would damage cap if we vulnerable pot now. So we're only losing 2 health. I'll just vulnerable pot now. We're weak as well, so we might actually not be damage capping. Oh, apparently I had too many cards because we can't play the last one. Do we recycle a wound or rip and tear for the last one? I guess we could also play Zap. I think we have Compile Driver next turn. Yeah, we do. Yeah, it should have. An alarm bell should have got off when I said I can play Meteor Strike 3 times, because I was like, wait a minute, and the other 3 cards are all drawing Meteor Strike? I thought we were going to play all for 1 twice. I think we just recycle the wound. No, we've got Vulnerable Pot, and this isn't a damage cap, so I'm just going to rip and tear it. We need the damage. This is a race. I like how we have 13 energy. Thanks, Velvet Choker. You're a real pal. Give me that extra energy during Act 2. Seems really smart now. I guess we just charge battery pass. We didn't draw the Compile Driver, so these 3 cards all go away. This is a pretty good turn to have the total gap turn, though. I'm not complaining. What happened to the slime? Did we play it? It's gone. Yeah, we must have played it. Yeah, I think I remember playing it. If we play Equilibrium, we can save Panic Button for next turn, but we don't really want it next turn, because then we would be screwed the turn after that, so I think we just press end turn. Our final shot at getting a useful static discharge, but we didn't draw it. Or we didn't play it when we did draw it. If we Glacier Compile Driver, we're kind of admitting defeat on the static discharge, but we're also saving health for right now. Why did we overvalue Slime over static discharge? That's not what happened. We played a 2-cost card instead. I don't remember exactly what the card was. I think it was Blind. We played Blind over static discharge. Was it Glacier? Yeah, that could have been. It was something valuable. It wasn't Slime. Slime was the slot-in card. Alright, I'm gonna Glacier Compile Driver. And then I guess Meteor Strike. And we can Hologram Meteor Strike and Force Field. Are we winning the race? Are we losing the race? The race is starting to get real. He's below 400, halfway there. Our strength is starting to go off. I think it's believable that we're winning the race here. We need to play Core Surge so that we can play Hyper Beam next time we see it. Without, like, losing on the spot. Need to block this turn. I mean, we don't die if we don't block, but it would be helpful to block here. I guess I'll start with Charge Battery. All for One gets back Compile Driver and Charge Battery and Defend. Let's do that and then Compile Driver and see what we draw. And hopefully it's like Equilibrium. Actually, we've got 3 cards left. We could just Charge Raider double defend. It's pretty lame though. Okay. We could Rip and Tear over defend. Rip and Tear is 30 damage. So we get a 6-to-1 ratio. But we kind of need like an 8-to-1 ratio, right? The heart starts with 800 health and we start with 100, so 6-to-1 is not really in our favor. But maybe if we Rip and Tear, we get there fast enough. If we do 30 damage, he goes to 303, and then we go to 7 strength, and then like Hyper Beam hits for 41, Streamline hits for 37. That's like 78, and then we need to like do 150 the turn after that to kill. I think that's a pretty reasonable plan. I think we should get the damage, because we're not surviving the next cycle if we block for 5 here. We need to get the kill. We might actually kill him on his turn with Static Discharge. Yeah, it's true, we do have Burner. But Burner's on the second attack. We have to survive the first one to get there. Not sure that's happening with 5 extra block. I'm not saying it's not happening, but be tough to get there. We could recycle the wound. It's kind of fun. If we're going to play Equilibrium, we should probably play that first. So it'd be like Equilibrium, recycle, wound, hyper beam, cold snap. Go for the eyes. And I guess static discharge. We just play the whole hand, right? Yeah, we've got enough energy to play the whole hand, so there's no reason not to. So Equilibrium first. Okay. Oh, that's true. We could have kept something. Yeah, we can't weaken him though. So. All right, this needs to be lethal, and it looks like it isn't. I guess we actually have panic button here, so we can steal an extra turn, and we're intangible next turn. So we've actually got like 3 turns to kill him. Seems like we've got plenty of time. All right, if we're going to block with cards other than panic button, we need to play those cards before panic button. Let's try and do this the correct way, okay? If we want to play Equilibrium or Defend, we play this before panic button, not after. Just like mostly talking to myself, I'm saying it out loud just so everybody's aware. That's what we're thinking about here. Don't panic the panic button. Okay. We play hand again? Pretty much, yeah. It looks like we're playing everything. We've got 6 cards in hand. We've got enough energy to play them all. So we do have to be a little bit careful about the ordering, because we have to play Meteor Strike to get enough energy to play all of them. Let's see, total cost of the hand is 5, 6, 8, 9. We've got 6 plus 4, so yeah. So I'll start with Equilibrium, Defend, and then play the cards, and then panic button to survive. Okay, so what do we do now? Compile Driver currently draws 2 cards. We might be in one of those race situations where we're killing him and he's killing us at the same time. I think we might actually just be able to end turn for lethal here. Not super confident. This doesn't generate any block. But the Frost Orbs do generate blocks. So if we like Glacier Zap Dual Cast, we get 10 block. Shouldn't we calculate charge plus beat? Well, charge doesn't generate any block, so probably not. So yeah, how much? Okay, so what happens if we just press end turn now? I think we lose, but I just wanna work it out, right? So he hits us once, he takes 3, and we generate a lightning orb. So for the first 2, he takes 3, and we generate 2 lightning orbs, right? So he's taken 6, and he's got 12 left. So he's at 114, and we got all lightning orbs. So that's for the first 2, and then for the next 7, we're not dead. And he takes 8 damage, so he takes 11 damage per, right? So he takes 77 damage from that, in addition to the 6 he already took. So he dies from, what is it, 83? Yeah, so 6 plus 77, so he dies from 83. Static will give us 15 lightning orbs revoked. 3 will stay in slots. No, that's not right at all. We have 10 health. we definitely die if he hits us 15 times. So we can only spend a small portion of that. So if he hits us now, we die. But it's kind of close. We do 80. What was it? 83? Yeah, 77 plus 6, so 83. Guys, Glacier doesn't generate any block, so we have to. So if we want block from Glacier, we need to like Glacier Zap dual cast, which is the next line I'm going to consider. People just shouting stuff out. Need to slow down a little bit. Okay, SBW. I'm gonna time you out for like 30 seconds because you just need to like think before you type. Okay. Okay. So so if we do Glacier Zap dual cast, we generate 10 block. We take 3 damage. Yeah, Frost Evoke does work. That's true. Yeah, actually, yeah, good point. So yeah, if we Glacier, we do survive. That's a good point. Okay. No, okay. So maybe he's right. Maybe we should. Okay. I regret my timeout, SBW. You're trying to tell me something. Well, now I feel like a jerk. Okay. 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 So if we just Glacier, do we win? Thank you, Bardicus. I'm sure if SBW were here, he would appreciate your sacrifice. So if we Glacier, we basically get plus 5 health. Wait, do we survive if we Glacier? I think we still die if we Glacier. Because when the... Oh no, we get 10 health. So yeah, we don't die. Okay. Or net 9, because the beat hits us for 1. So if we play Glacier, we survive at 4. And Heart also doesn't die. So it's probably like Glacier and like less than 3 other cards. Dual Cast buys us a little bit. But then Dual Cast also sort of cuts into our damage. So what if... Okay, so... sorry, SPW. I apologize. You were correct. It's just like a long series of like a couple word chats, and I'm just like, whoa, I can't keep up with all this. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so the line I'm currently considering is Glacier Compile Driver and presumably draw nothing useful. I don't know what nothing useful looks like exactly, but it's probably like blind to go for the eyes, right? Okay, so if we Glacier Compile Driver, we get a bunch of energy that we don't need. We draw 2 cards that we're assuming aren't useful. We take 2 beat damage. Our Lightning Orb goes to the front. We'll just say that Lightning Orb does 8 damage. Or I guess it does 11 damage, right? So the Heart goes to 109. If we're assuming this guy's already fired off. Wait, why would we do that? So, okay, so let's not do that. Okay, we're at 8 because we played 2 cards. Got a Lightning Orb in front and 2 Frost Orbs. The Heart hits us once. Okay, we end the turn. The Heart takes 3 and goes to 117. The Heart hits us once, takes 3 from Thorns, and 8 from Lightning Orb. We go down to 7. He takes 11. He was at 117. He's now down to 106. Then there's 2... Okay, then he hits us once. We generate another Lightning Orb. We're down to 6. But a Frost Orb evokes. So that was his second hit. A Frost Orb evokes, so we get 5 armor. He hits us 5 more times. That was his 3rd through 8th hits. And then he hits us again. That's his 9th hit. Hits us 5 times on the armor. That's 10 through 15. So we end up only channeling 2 Lightning Orbs with that plan. So we end up with 3 Lightning Orbs at the end of the turn, and no more Lightning gets evoked. So he would end up with have 45 health. I think that's wrong. I think that's not right. So we end up with 6 health, and the heart ends up with 103 or 106 was my math. It's I guess it's 19 less than that. So it's it's 87. So I think it's got 87. That's true. 87. Yeah, good point. 87 minus 42, because I already counted one of the Thorns procs. So 87 minus 42. So it is 45. So someone 25 is correct. Okay. So that survives, puts us in excellent position to win the fight. It's basically guaranteed to win if we draw like Hyper Beam. We could even win this turn if we top deck the Hyper Beam. Seems pretty good. Does All for One change anything? We could go get another Glacier, but that doesn't change anything. It kind of does, though, right? Because if we... All for One Glacier is health positive because of the... Someone's in Meteor, yeah. I like Meteor plan. That seems pretty good. So we can just hologram Meteor. That's 2 cards. So we go to 6, but we evoke 2 Frost Orbs. And then we can, like... I think we just have... we don't even have to give him a turn, I think. No, we do, but... So if we hologram Meteor, like we've got 2 cards left, and we block for 10. Does that ever leave us at 1? Even if we get left at 1, that's okay. So then we can All for One Glacier for extra health. Oops. So this does 29, that leaves him at 6, and then he just dies to 2 Thorns procs. That seems more direct. Okay. Whew. I cannot believe we won that one. Cannot believe it. It just literally wasn't a believer, like, at any time. I'm just like, the run is over now, and I'm like, yeah, but how do we win the run, right? Like, how do we actually win it, you know? So, wow. I had like a main mistake all lined up and stuff. Jesus Christ. Thanks for the follow, EasyH599. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the Vegetable Patch. Remember when the Life Coach raid came, I was like, you've all come at the end of a run. We're all going to be disappointed. Nope, we won. Wow. Some really great backseating here by Some125 and SBW. Trying to keep me from killing myself. I'm curious why you skipped Capacitor. Yeah, we didn't have any focus or... and we didn't really get any benefit from orb slots. We could have, like, had a bunch of plasma orbs, but we didn't really need the energy, so kind of what we end up doing if we get Capacitor is we just, like, we prevent ourselves from channeling the plasma as quickly. Capacitor definitely was pickable with Mummified Hand, though. There's probably a line you could have gone with Capacitor, would have been fine. The big mistake here was picking Velvet Choker. We definitely shouldn't have done that. We had access to this Hyper Beam from the boss, so even though we had a super weak Act 1, we should have known we were fine in Act 2, and we didn't need the Choker. But man, yeah. Man, we made it through. Unbelievable.